Good evening. We're streaming. Man, I clicked the button and it took forever for it to start. Does everybody hear me okay? And Kim is right behind me here somewhere. So let's see. We got a bunch of people in here at 7. Gary Stafford's in like a minute early. Let's see here. We have Buddy Carafano, Mexican Spec, Lester LeSabre, Colby Queso. Who else? I already said Buddy Carafano, didn't I? Yeah, I did. And how's everybody doing? I'm trying to get to my I'm running the whole show here. Mexican Spec. Is a CB antenna hooked up to anything? Yeah, the trunk lid. It's the, you know, the when we had the interior all apart, when we were doing that, we had the seat out and everything, we were doing the heater. I bought some really good high quality coax and ran it underneath the carpet so it's right up front. But no, it's not hooked to a radio yet. But everything's there. So it's just a matter of I've been driving it. I've got about like 45 miles on it now, and everything's working real well. Wow, Gary Stafford's here. Hello, and David Stafford. The two Staffords. Different parts of the country, but a couple of brothers. Good to have you here. Let's see. Lester Saber says, let's see here. What's this? Yeah, double points until Kim gets here. That's what she said. I got to get everybody double points. Kim, how many points to people that are on time? She's not even talking. I mean, she's hurrying. Let's see. And Luis, you're here. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, I think I went into your channel, didn't I? I think I did, and I watched something and left a comment. I think I did. Man, I don't know. I've it seems to me I did. Oh yeah, muy bien, muy bien. I can almost say that correctly. If it was Russian, I could say очень хорошо. Same as muy bien, muy bien. I got to struggle with Spanish. She didn't authorize the double points, but what she doesn't know. Oh, she did authorize. She authorized the double points, and she's scurrying around. She told me that, but she's busy and not responding to me right now. Hippie Long Zed said, looks great. Time to buff it and restripe it. I don't want to buff it. I want to see once I buff it, then it's got a coating on it that I don't want there. Because eventually, not all that long from now, I'm going to be taking that paint, sanding it down, and there's all kinds of little dents, and the car's got, I mean, it looks good, like, from that picture. That's like a 30-foot picture. So, when I'm back 30 feet, it looks pretty good. But you get up close, there's all these little dents and scratches and everything. That's going to be a lot of work it's going to be just a lot of little picking to get all that out of there. And then I got to figure out what color I want it. And I know some people want it brown and restriped. And I don't know. I got plenty of time to think about that. But I don't really want to put any kind of wax or anything on there. Gary says, Gary and I went to school from kindergarten all the way through. We graduated high school together. Except I was gone for about a year and a half in South Dakota. But other than that, he and I went to school together. And Gary says, remember Mrs. Umbertus in elementary school? Yes, she was our Spanish teacher. I remember her well. I remember her in kindergarten, Mrs. Umbertus. Wow, yeah. Yeah, and she taught us Spanish. And then what happened was I took Spanish up into, for a couple years in elementary school, and in junior high I took Spanish for a year, maybe 2 years. And then I just quit and started taking Russian later. So, and then I spent time in Russia. So, it's the Russian just, sometimes I'm trying to think in Spanish and the Russian words just come out. It's kind of crazy. Lester Saber says, Zed Sled looks great in the photo. Thank you. Buff, what is the theme for today? Engines. Engines. Oh, see behind me, somebody, and who, I'm trying to think of who sent this stuff in because, Lester LeSabre, I think, sent this in. Lester LeSabre sent a whole bunch of pictures in. So this is a 351 Windsor that he sent in. So I put it up there behind me. So when Kim gets here, we'll start going through the pictures. Let's see here. Hippie Long. Leave stock paint. It tells a story of love and care. Maybe. Don't know. I could, you know. I don't know. Let's just say, please don't encourage him with the name. What, the Zed Sled? You don't like the Zed Sled? I think Zed Sled's good because that, you know, Zed is kind of like Z in every other, but you know, it's a Z7, but at least then I could say Zed. Danny Boyd, and Anti-Car Naming Brigade. Hey, Danny Boyd, how you doing? David Stafford says 289. I think that's a 351 Windsor. You know how you can tell the difference real quickly. You look down there, see that little bypass hose that's underneath the, oh, you can't see it because I'm in the way. Oh, I need Kim here. I need Kim to help me, but she's busy. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Let me see if I can zoom that out. I can't make it do what I want. I will tell you the difference to tell a 289 and 302 from a 351 here just in a minute. Danny Boyd, I don't like spiders and snakes.
Are they being behaved?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I'm just overwhelmed because I'm trying to manipulate pictures and I'm unable. Well, Danny Boyd says wildwood weed. Louise, Kim, well, it's not here. Yeah, well, Kim's here. She's just around the corner. I think she's putting her contacts in is what I think she's doing. Pitt Snipe Husker's here. Good evening, Pitt. Danny Boyd says, yikes. Man, I could see, I already got whiskers showing. I got up early this morning and went to the doc, shaved early and went to the doctor and everything. I was running all over the place. And it started 5 o'clock shadow already and I didn't shave.
Okay.
Okay. Gary Stafford says, Jim Stafford sang that song. Wow, and Kim's here. Okay.
Let the party begin.
How can we back that out? See the bypass hose in that picture right there? The picture over there is the one behind me, but it's so close I can't. Okay, there. That's good. Okay, David Stafford is asking, and everybody else for that matter.
Oh, we're already into tech talk.
Oh, yeah, we are. We're into tech talk. Right below the radiator hose, there's a little bypass hose that's 190 degree, or not wrong, a 90 degree bent little hose.
Yeah.
And the 351 Windsor, that thing is kind of long like that, and the 289 and the 302, that thing's really short. Now, wait a minute, I'm looking at this. This might actually be a 289, because I'm looking at it, and the manifold looks real narrow. Man, the picture's deceiving. I actually can't tell. Now I'm an idiot.
Okay, I gotta go to chat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Some people got advertisements. Hippie Long got a... Wow, those are some strange ads. I'm not even gonna read that.
Where is this? Right
Hemorrhoid
ad.
I mean, it happens. Welcome to reality. Sometimes people get
Is
those
that
things.
real? Is that real?
Is that real? Anyone who got advertisements, and I'm not going to read all these comments. You guys, that's 100 comments since 7 o'clock. But anyone who did get an advertisement and calls it out in chat, you get 2 points, but it's double points.
Don't move it. See David Stafford there at 701. Gary Stafford at 701.
I'm getting there.
Okay, well, David Stafford is in California. His brother Gary is in Idaho.
Welcome in, guys. Thanks for stopping in.
Really good, long-term
He's
friends.
spoken so highly of your father so many times.
Howard Stafford was a big...
What an impression he made.
Howard Stafford was... Everybody that guy came in contact
so
with.
The people
became
who got
pilots.
People who got 2 points for advertisements, it's double points. So you actually get 4 points for your advertisements. We appreciate you, because if advertisers didn't feel like they could promote on our channel, then we'd sort of wither and die. We need kind of growth. It's just what they expect of us. Anyways, I'm glad you guys are here and watching. That's 701. Who was here at 7? Because we I love to give out points to people who are prompt, because that's just instilled in us, right? We're supposed to be on time. So, Buddy Carfano jumps in at 7. He gets the biggest reward. I'm going to give them 7 points.
Holy crap! You never
It's
given
double points.
Oh, you never given points before.
Mexican
Okay.
Spec, Lester LeSabre, Colby Queso. You all get 6 points because it's double points for being here at 7 o'clock. And David Stafford and Gary Stafford and Luis. We'll give Luis because they were there here, and Hippie Long. You're all going to get 4 points for getting here. And then who else has come in since then? Danny Boyd is here. Welcome to the stream. Danny Boyd, you missed the cut. I'm sorry. We already said hello to a lot of these people. Did you get to read some of these comments?
Yes, I did. It's just like we're way, way behind already.
Pit Snipe is here. Welcome to the stream. Everybody's saying hello, and we're back to current. If we missed anybody, I'm very sorry.
Dean Stevenson just popped in. So Dean Stevenson's
I already
here.
read it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm listening while washing my twuck. Is that what they have in New Zealand?
Oh, nice.
Twucks.
I own a couple of twucks. Man, I left that green truck.
Yeah.
I have a green farm truck. It's a little rough, but I mean, for the first second gen Dodge. So when they changed the grill and stuff like that, it's the first year, 94. And it's pretty good, right? Well, we were hauling some oak, the wood that we got from up the street. It was within driving range without plates for farm use. We took it up there. They loaded these big logs in it. We brought all these big logs down here. And the truck's just been sitting since then. Sat all winter with all these like chunks of old wood and bark and stuff.
Is that the one the tree fell on?
Yeah, but it didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt it, but it fell. Yeah.
But the bed, so I pulled it around so the bed was like leaning back because water was collecting in the bed and clogging all the drains. So I washed all that out. All the paint was original paint. It all bubbled up out of the bed. I was like, oh man. So now I got to do something to protect the bed. But boy, I really like my twucks.
So let's see. Oh, Dougster came in. Because somebody said hello to Dougster, and I didn't see him yet, so he must be up there.
So this is what, a Ford engine? We were talking about.
I think it's a 351. It could be a 302 or 289 now that I look at it, because the manifold's really narrow.
Mofo Drivers here. Welcome in.
And of course, we have our international stuff going on, because we got Dean Stevenson here. I believe Luis is in South America, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. But you don't have to say where you're from if you don't want to. And of course, Dean is, New Zealand. Which one?
Put a bed liner in it. Maybe if I can find one.
Yeah, see that truck is not like the. It was an inexpensive truck that didn't run. It looked kind of crappy.
It was a project.
And we brought it home on a trailer. No, on a tow dolly.
There's a video about it.
And there's videos about it. She got it running, and now it's a farm truck around here. Drive it on the property.
Compared to the trucks that you would see in the north, it's very rust-free. It's very solid. It's complete. It's got high mileage on it, but it starts and runs. It sounds really, really tanky. So one of these days, maybe we'll get that on the road. It's running good, though.
Mama M3. Hello, Colleen. And
welcome.
Mean Street Mopar's here. Did you know about that?
It's great to have everybody in.
New Yorker. Maybe we do. Luis is from Citgo land. Okay, we have a Citgo station right down the road here.
That's one of our local stations.
That's one of our local stations. By international, we don't mean corn binder.
No, worldwide.
No, do you know what a corn binder is? It's a name that's used an international truck.
Oh, right.
People call them a corn binder. What make is Kim's truck? Is it a Dodge or a Ram? Is it before they started calling them Rams? Or
it's the first year they started calling them Rams. In '94, they went to the Dodge name. And
Dodge, that means like you get out of its way. Then they changed the name to Ram. I mean, man.
Because I have that 90...
They really mean business
now. The blue truck is a 93. And if you look at it, it's completely different. And the badging is different and stuff like that. They went from calling it a 150 to calling it a 1500. And then the stance is higher. The factory trucks, they're bigger and beefier. And it was really the beginning of just monsterizing trucks, and now they're
What is this? Luis says, should I stay or should I go? Oh, that's a song. Okay. It's like, don't, you gotta stay.
You
Mexican
gotta
Spec
let
this.
me know.
Mexican Spec. It is still a Citgo station.
Should I stay or should I go?
Oh. Yeah, 90.
Ram came into 2000s. No. My 94 Ram.
Oh, or did they
is
say
the
or did they say Dodge Ram on it?
Ram. Oh. First year for the second gen. That's all I know for sure.
Colleen says, if you can't dodge it, ram it.
Ram it.
Keep that truck away from my cars.
It's a nifty truck. It's a little ripe inside. I've cleaned all the upholstery. It still smells like mouse poop.
What engine does the truck have? It has a 318?
It has the Magnum 318.
It's a Magnum 318.
Yeah, powerful.
Well, when she got that thing, we went out and picked it out. There's some farm out there. And there was a guy that had bought a new truck, and he let that thing sit there forever. So we went out there and got it, tow-dollied it back, and I was really relieved because the whole rig we were towing with everything was a little sketchy. It was a little sketchy.
I was towing with my van, it was full-size pickup truck.
Her van with my tow dolly with this full-size. It's a four-wheel drive truck. I don't know.
No,
but it's enormous, heavy rig. So we get it here and get it on the property. I'm like, we made it. Well, then she's trying to start it. Well, the fuel tank, she pulled a fuel tank down, and it's just full of this brown muck. So she took the fuel pump down, or fuel tank down, and pulled everything out, and all this brown stuff, and cleaned it all out, and I don't know what all did you put a fuel pump in it or fix it or whatever?
Yeah, the whole sending unit was just terrible.
All back together, and then she goes, go up front, I'm going to try to start. She turned it on, and there's fuel hoses all over up. Yeah, it's injected, right? Yeah, it's injected. So there's hoses all over the place.
Sprinkler system.
It looked like remember a thing called a soaker hose? It looked like a soaker hose.
The mice on that farm, they ate the fuel lines, they ate the wiring, they ate the coolant hoses. It's all been like reanimated, and it holds its coolant. It runs, the computer runs. The only thing the computer doesn't do right now is see the oxygen sensor, and I have the stuff in the box to put that together, and I'm gonna. And then it just needs exhaust.
And
then it could be driven.
Gary says here, good engine. Our dad's 69 Dodge Dart had a 318. I remember Gary telling me when we were kids, he goes, my dad's going to buy a Dart next year, and this was in 68. He says it's going to be, they're just about the same. And he bought a 69 Dart. And that's the car, I've talked about that car in here many times, about how nice that thing handled and what a nice, tight, new car it was. And I just fell in love with the GM or the Chrysler A-bodies because of that particular car. And not too long ago, David Stafford said something to me about that car was still running around in town where he lives. And I'm wondering if it's still there. And he said last thing I knew, it was pretty nice car. So I don't know if it's still around.
Well, did anybody see the story about the mouse on the most recent video we put out?
Oh, our mouse. We lost our mouse.
One of our mice. Every night we're out in the shop. After we're there a little while, they get brave. And you see them scurrying around. I don't know why. I guess just because it's comfortable temperature in there. But it's dry in there, so there's nothing to drink. And there's no food in there.
David Stafford says it's still in town. Man, we got to go out to California and
buy that
take
car
a
back.
big wad of cash with us. See if we can get it.
Out of our box of wads of cash.
Yeah, it was a 69 Dart.
Cash in a couple of our Bitcoin.
It was a 318 automatic, had factory air in it, and it was kind of a medium green color. I've got pictures of that car. So I'm going to pull up pictures of that car. I think I have them.
You have pictures?
I think I have pictures of that car. Okay, Kim, you're going to have to watch the chat while I'm searching for pictures. Where is it?
Oh,
Kim, you're going to have to take care of the...
I'm going to find a nice picture of it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, but I don't think the mouse... You know what, that mouse, I looked at him, when it went by, I thought it was some kind of giant beetle or something, but I thought that was big. And it went out the window, and I looked in the mirror, and then I saw what it was. It was the mouse from the shop, And he landed in the street, and it's like, it's big wide street. It's 4 lanes with a center turn lane. So he hits the street. There's not many cars. And I see him just like run this way, that way, that way, that way, that way. He's just completely mixed up. He had no clue where he was. And the ground was probably hot, you know. So, yeah, that mouse was just zipping around. So he was alive after he hit the ground. But then I kept going, of course.
When I was in college, for a couple of years, I lived in this dumpy old railroad house. It was below the tracks, and I mean the tracks were twice as tall because it was like a big railroad trestle, and his house was down below it, and it was an old house, clapboard siding, you know. And when a train went by, the train only went by. Coal trains would go by in the night, like Sunday night. There was always a train, right? And it rattled. It was like, and the house just like did this. It walked back and forth, and it was crazy. Okay, you got a picture.
You now Gary Stafford. Your mother's in this picture.
Really? Why is this so big?
I don't know. Well, I can zoom it out
No,
a little bit.
That's me.
Okay.
Okay, you got it.
Anyway, that picture supposedly was taken in 1969.
That's awesome.
Well, there's no license plate on it yet, so that was when it was brand new. And that car's still running around San Luis Obispo, California.
Nice.
So there we go.
So 318 is a good motor. It really is. It's a good start. The LA 318 is good. It has a steel crank, which is a little more.
Man, there's somebody else in that.
beefy.
Gary or David, tell me who that is in there with your mother. On the right side of the car, there's somebody you can just barely see their face against the inside of the C-pillar. Yeah, David goes, cool. There it is, yeah.
But this Dodge Ram is the very first V8 powered truck that I've ever really owned that I can think of. I had a Jeep, and it had a 258. That's a 6-cylinder. My van has a 4.2 V6. What have I ever owned that was V8 powered? My 72 Dart that I had in high school, it just had a Slant 6, and then I ran a bunch of Slant 6s. I never went chasing after that extra horsepower, but it is really neat to have a V8, to be able to do some burnouts and just make the horses gallop.
That Gary's in Idaho, and David, his brother, is in California.
Yeah, so if you didn't see the video, we got to take his car out, do a little drive about, and then you drove it again today. Although you had some issues with
I
it.
had a minor problem, but we
might be having some heat soak problems, or maybe some.
I pulled up to a stop sign and it quit. The same thing happened yesterday.
And
in
it
fact,
was running so good.
coming downhill yesterday, it quit and quit and quit and quit. And finally, I just coasted into the property, and
But then
Kim
we had it running good.
opened the hood and tapped on the.
Use the ball peen hammer adjustment.
Yeah,
on the float.
and then it ran fine. So she was thinking the float stuck, and the fuel in there. You know, it's modern day alcohol fuel, but it had been sitting in there 4 or 5 months, so there wasn't a lot in there. So we went and put non-alcohol, you know,
non-ethanol fuel.
non-ethanol fuel.
And we put some Lucas fuel stabilizer, top end cylinder lubricant additive in the tank as well.
It was injector cleaner, whatever the hell. So we thought maybe if it's sticking, you
know, we're short a lot of lighting. No wonder.
We thought maybe the needle and seat, the needle was sticking.
I still think it's being
But
difficult.
Then,
Hey, stray bullet.
So then it happened again today. I pulled up to a stop sign and quit. It's like, oh no, because it was working so well, and nobody was behind me. So I started it and it quit again. I started it and then it was fine after that. So don't know.
Can you do a Rodney Dangerfield impression? Do you do impressions?
No.
I could do it, but they'd all laugh. So.
Okay, so what is this?
No
Danny
respect.
Boy, 2-stroke oil is good. Poor man's Lucas. She bought all this Lucas. She bought all this Lucas stuff. So let's
Snake
see.
oil.
Let's see. Oh, Gary
Pour it in
Stafford,
there.
Geneva Delaney, friends of mom and dad. Okay, so that's who that is in there. Okay,
That's awesome.
I never
Now we
kn-
know who's in that picture from
Then
1970.
that picture was taken in 1969. Wow, that car. I remember when he bought that thing. What did he have?
Phenolic spacer on the intake. So it does have one, and vapor lock is really possible, right? The way everything's routed,
I don't think it's vapor lock because when it quits and I'm starting it, it just smells
it's
like
flooded.
gasoline.
Well, yeah, but it
and then it clears out, and then it's okay. So I don't think it's vapor lock. I think it's flooded. And then when you looked at the carb when it happened yesterday, it was carburetor was flooded.
So here's the thing, right? People change needle and seat, needle and seat, needle and seat. But I've seen recently talk of excessive fuel pump pressure. So I don't know where that fuel pump came from. I doubt it's the factory fuel pump. A lot of times these fuel pumps are putting out more than what the carburetor can accept.
This is my thought. I should get a new carburetor kit or whatever with the new needle.
I'll put it in.
Who knows what's happened to that little needle? What is that thing? A hardened rubber or something? That end? You know, it's 47 years old and been in fuel it was never meant to be in. You know, I think the right thing to do is just replace that first. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. Gary says, I loved driving that car when I first got my license. Man, you got your license in 1970. So that car was only a year old when you got your license. Gary and I are the same age. Gary's 6 weeks older than I am.
Pitt says, we all moaned when we looked under the hood of a Dodge. Oh, it's just a 318. We were looking for a 360 or better. So I have a 360 out of that 93. So it's a Magnum 360. It's going in something. Like, I'm not going to pull out a perfectly good running engine out of my 94 just to put a 3. And talking to Tony, right, he says the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I don't exactly know what that means. Like, it's a little bit, what are you showing them your orange?
Because they're asking.
Oh, okay.
It's Food Lion's orange soda, whatever.
What does the juice ain't worth the squeeze mean? I understand but like, in terms of the difference between a 318 and a 360, how much more horsepower are you going to see? Is it a lot easier to boost up the horsepower on a 360 than a 318? Tony builds some honking 318s. It seems very buildable in a practical kind of way.
Let's see. Gary says we're old farts. We're getting there.
But it looks good on you, Dougster says.
Where's this? Oh.
And it's been super hot. So things like heat soak or overpressurization of the fuel system because of the heat or something like that could be. Plus, that engine, the intake manifold, is part of the cylinder head. So I don't know.
Well, the thing I think about originally,
we don't got a temperature gauge.
Those engines were really reliable. They didn't have problems. You just drive. Basically, that thing's stock. What's not stock? It's got an exhaust manifold gasket, and I put studs in there.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not stock. Okay, so The way I look at it, if everything's right, it should just run. You know. So something's happened. Somebody says here the floats are failed, except it runs so well most of the time. I think when she tapped on it,
and then it was okay again.
I think the needle was off the seat a little bit.
I was hoping the ethanol-free fuel and the Lucas would maybe soften that stuff up and get it to not having.
Well, I mean, I need to make it run the way it did. Danny Boyd says Food Lion is Griffin's radiator's cousin. Hey, Danny Boyd, you know what? I got to tell you. Dougster Wolverine Garage had his live last night. I was in there, and Danny Boyd is a mod in there, and they had some trolls come in there. It was it's just stuff that trolls would say. Danny Boyd, man, he like a hammer. I'm a mod in there too. So I by the time I react to it, it's already gone. Danny Boyd already killed him. So the guy Danny Boyd's a man. It's like he's on top of it. Great moderator. 318 will rev better than a 360. No.
Right, the bore and stroke ratio. Bigger is not always better, depending on what you're doing. The Chrysler 318 and 360 LA engines have different bore and stroke measurements.
God, Gary says our Dodge van at my dad's business had a 360. I forgot all about that. The last van I remember you having was a Ford Econoline, the old Econoline had the engine between the seats and had like a 170 in it, which is the same engine basically that I have. But can you listen carefully and hear the gas boiling after you shut it off? Well, when it happens, I don't shut it off. I'll pull up to a stop sign. It's just perfect. Pull up the stop sign. It's idling just right. Everything feels fine, and then I'll pull up the stop sign and it dies. And then I go to crank it. It's crankety, 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 crankety. I can smell gas,
It's
and I open
flooded.
it. Open
it floods
it wide.
itself sitting at idle.
I open it wide open, and boom, it starts up, and then it's okay again, like for the rest of the afternoon. So I don't know. It's
You get a 2-to-1 payback for putting dollars in a 360 over a 318. You think it's that much? I don't know. I don't know. So the 318 has a 391 bore and a 331 stroke. The 360 has a 4-inch bore and a 358-inch stroke. So they're not that much different. The cylinder heads are about the same too.
well, that was one of the things UTG was doing. Uncle Tony he was trying to make a 318 fast, and what is that car he has? That light blue. What's he call that thing?
They'll remember.
It's the one I can't think of what he calls that thing.
The one you were in the back seat.
So I was in the back. I was in the back seat of it. He didn't have he wasn't spraying it yet, and so it's just a 318, and we're in the pit area, but we're kind of in the back of the pit area, and there's not much back there, but there's kind of a lot, and we were gonna go to the other side of the racetrack. So Kathy got up front with him. I got in the back seat on the right side, and he jumps on it, does a wheelie across the that area of the pits. Yeah, bottle rocket.
Bottle rocket. Lester, you get 3 points.
I mean, not a big wheelie, but he had the front wheels off the ground, and I'm sitting back there. Whoa! I didn't have a seatbelt or anything on. I just like wham into the back of the seat. Never been in a car that pulled a wheelie before, and it was a 318. So yeah, bottle rocket. And then after he sprayed it, he went out there and raced Andy Wood.
Yeah.
And he beat him. I didn't think that would happen. Andy Wood thought he won the race, but he didn't. It was really close. But Andy Wood's truck's no slouch, and he beat him. It's amazing.
I got one. Mean Street Mopar is here. Welcome, Mean Street Mopar.
Oh.
Guys, check out the Mean Street Mopar channel. This guy has been really putting in some effort, building up his channel, showing his project. He wants to get to 500, so he can... He was at 440 last I heard. How you doing, Mean Street Mopar? Tell us your number. But he's been working on a 360, and I watched this video where he pulled off the oil pan and found that there's a factory... Is it a factory windage tray, or was it an aftermarket one? Windage tray and high-volume oil pump. And he's got an 8-quart Moroso oil pan. He's been making modifications to the frame just a little bit to make sure that he can cram that in his project. And I'm looking forward to seeing him at the No Name Nationals event. And I'm sure he's going to get there.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We've been looking at this Dodge Dart for a while. I'm going to start bringing, we said we were going to look at engines. Oh, good. Thanks, Mexican Spec. Put a link up to his channel so you can sub if you aren't already subbed.
Mexican Spec says Andy is still humble about that. Andy Wood is good people. We've met him at No Name Nationals. What a fantastic guy. Down to earth, super friendly. I can't say enough good things about the guy. He's really awesome in our experience. You know what I mean? I don't spend every weekend with him or anything like that, but having met him, it was super cool. I look forward to any time I get to chat with him again, just a little bit. And he has a channel, and he talks about his mixed up boss is the thing that's in there. So, anyways, Stu, who's watching the kids? Nobody. We're all here watching Buff Del Campo channel. Angelica will take care of it. You're right, Louise.
Dougster says,
Thank
look
you.
at engines, ball stud Hemi, please. You got any pictures of it? Send them to me. Oh, you want to put it the email address so if anybody has a picture? I don't know if if you got pictures of cars too, but I mean, people like.
Oh yeah, we'd
people
love
like
to see
this
your
stuff.
project. Like Main Street Mopar, send us
we'll
a
look at-
picture of your project's progress.
Lester Saber sent a bunch of pictures of engines, and this is the early Oldsmobile Rocket V8, probably early 50s. Pretty interesting seeing the early V8s, you know.
All right, there's the email address for you. If you have a photo and you want to talk about it, discuss it. Otherwise, you're sort of at the mercy of me doing Google searches, which we'll do. We'll do. But when people send pictures, they kind of take a little priority because they put in the footwork so that we would have their pictures, you know. But I mean, well, obviously we can.
And here's early Buick, Nailhead Buick. I'm trying to make it so I'm not covering the engine.
I overdid it.
And you overdid it, yeah.
I overdid it. I can make us smaller too. I don't know. How do you guys?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get it so you can see the engine.
Well, I'm trying to. I'm gonna make us smaller because they see enough of us. They know what we look like.
And
I think
we got ads in there.
I got all this magic. I didn't even introduce us. I'm gonna do that, guys, because I didn't even do that. Hey, everybody! I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things.
You're talking over the commercials.
That's a perfect time.
Okay.
I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things. That's my channel, also on YouTube. Elsewhere, you can see me work on my Dart, my truck, my Bronco 2. I got some stuff that I do here at Del Campo. It's car camp. We have a good time. I am here. I am co-host, actually, even though sometimes I take over. I am also the engineer of a lot of this stuff. We got 5 screens of studio madness. We got a green screen so we can put ourselves right in the middle of the action. We can travel through time.
Our dyno room.
To our dyno room. And we can look at your pictures. We can read your chat on a giant big screen and hopefully entertain everyone for a little while. We love to see other people having success, like Dougster Wolverine Garage, who is streaming regularly on Monday night to great success. And we want to see our friends be here and succeed and get ahead in the world. And I don't feel like it's a competition, except when it is.
A lot of new people here. I want you to
Yes.
explain the point system and
The points.
how you keep track of the points, or who keeps track of the points.
Look, when you do something good, like he'll be like, I know the name of Bottle Rockets, but he can't say it, right?
Because
And
my
you
old
help
dead
us?
brain, I can't remember
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, we're all getting a little stale, but sometimes you're just on the ball. So if you're willing to type and give us answers and just show up and participate, I want to award some points, right? But I don't got a database. I don't got a spreadsheet. I can't keep track of all these points. You guys keep track of the points. We're working on prizes. I started making logos and stuff like that, and my artisticness gets interrupted by us some of the other creative stuff we do during the week. We make shorts, we work on cars, and every once in a while we eat, laundry, just all the life stuff gets in the way. So I'm not doing so good, but I want to award. Just keep track of your points.
They're disappearing here. I was trying to get them before
People
they
got
disappeared.
advertisements.
Yeah, and you didn't catch them. You gotta back up a bit.
Everybody who got ads, let's find out who's advertising. With us
Okay,
today.
right there. Buddy Carfano was the first one. O'Reilly ad. Gary Stafford said he got a.
O'Reilly's.
Gary Stafford, he got an ad, but Gary, you got to tell us which one it is to get
You
the
got to
points.
tell us the name of the company because that's the point, right? But yeah,
So
like
then
Buddy Carfano gets 2 points.
We know who's supporting us. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because they put in their monies, right? They give money to YouTube. They say, please advertise our products, and like they get to decide what kind of content it goes with. And like we're in the automotive grade, I guess. I don't know. And so I feel like I'm overstating this now.
Okay, so now you can, because now we're stuck.
Anybody who tells us who the advertiser is, we'll try and read it. But if we miss your comment, you get 2 points for making the comment because we appreciate it and we value the fact that we get advertisements because that means we are relevant and growing. And you got to do that. You know? It
Indirect.
pays for all these kilobits, 5,196 kilobits per second. Who's going to pay for all those kilobits? It's our advertisers. So thank you to them. Support them if you are able. I like shopping at the O'Reillys we have local here. There's nice people.
That's a good store.
Yeah, they'll order stuff in the next day.
Because they have somebody in there that's sharp, an older guy that knows parts real well. And man, the chat's going so quick. I wanted to see what that engine was. That I think it was Pitt, but it just disappeared.
Indirect is here.
Indirect
Welcome.
says, "Look, you look nice, and you do look nice."
Thank you.
Yeah, Pitt
it
says
took me an extra minute or two to get ready tonight.
The last engine that I installed before closing my shop in 02, 455 volts into a 70 Chevy C10. It was literally chained to the wheel.
Woo!
Okay, that's what I want to catch. And Tommy Hanlon's here from Dublin, Ireland. So our international people are more of them. What you doing? Oh,
I'm bringing it up for reference so people can understand.
But we got to get
because that's what we do.
You've got the chat stalled.
455 olds. There's some big Oldsmobiles engines. I've got the chat stuck. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Dougster's saving up for a DeLorean. Yeah, we're going to have to print out a real prize catalog. I was looking, stickers are like $7 a piece to have made for custom. $7 a piece. I'm like, oh man, there's got to be a different way. But I understand it costs money to make things, right? Like you got the cure cut or the printer or whatever, big, so you can make a bunch of stickers and then you got to cut them out in different shapes. Like, did you guys spend that much money to get stickers made? Like, whoa. I'm trying to get, I got tires for his car. I blew the budget on tires.
I got a question here. What is that Oldsmobile engine that has the spark plugs? It's right next to me. It has the spark plugs going into the valve covers, it looks like.
This one.
Oh, both of them. What the heck is that thing? 32 valve, W43, 455. I don't even know I never even knew about that.
That never was.
Oh, it never was. Okay, so they made it and it never got into a car.
Well, I mean, when you do a Google search, you're going to get the big fanciest, stuff. It's pretty neat. It says Oldsmobile on the valve cover. I like it. Dyno shocker. Man, engines are fun. I love working on mechanical stuff. It's hard work. Knuckle busting stuff. Grease up to your elbows. How many times I'm in a house and you're like, you got grease on the back of your arms. Because I'm down in there and wrenching stuff, torquing stuff, breaking stuff. The exhaust, man.
I'm not paying attention to
these old 47-year-old car. Do you know how difficult it is to get things to go?
Oh, man, I got so much email right now, Kim. I'm gonna have to start downloading some of this.
All right.
And you're gonna have to take
Hippie Long suggests that I make a stamper and give out little metal stamped cards. You know what? I could cut pieces off of some of these, like that truck or the Lost Fire. I could cut pieces of sheet metal off and stamp them with the Buckdell Campo logo. That'd be a cool giveaway. I could do that. We have a press. We have a welder. I can make little
weld up some stickers.
Make a logo and then make a reverse of it and then stamp it in there. That'd be cool. Dual overhead cam 455 would be a lot of fun. Well, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of times the dual overhead cams, they're like 4 valves per cylinder. All of us here, welcome.
Can you switch back to my screen?
It's been stupid hot here as well, except we got some rain this afternoon, and it really broke the heat, but then it's just humid as all hell.
Who sent this? I downloaded a bunch of pictures. Now I'm lost track of who sent what.
Oh, the Hemi. Oh!
That's the ball stud Hemi.
Ball stud Hemi.
Oh, Gary says a Buckdell Campo belt buckle. Oh my God, that wouldn't cost too much. We could make aluminum castings.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's a zinc plant road up here. We have a zinc plant. If there's something that we could design out of zinc, we could have it made.
Nasty stuff.
Custom Clarksville zinc plant.
Okay,
memorabilia from Buff Del Campo Garage.
All right, I'm trying to.
Yeah, little metal cars.
Okay, I don't know
Little
why that's
mustaches?
not, some reason I can't make that do what I want it to. Is that the ball stud? That's the ball stud Hemi?
Yeah. How did? Oh, the push rods are angled differently for the
Yeah, but it's
different
on a,
valves.
it's not a dual shaft thing. It's on a
It's ball stud. Yeah, that's cool.
Mean Street Mopar. I wish the ball stud Hemi wasn't killed by emissions and oil.
Oh yeah, it wasn't the most emissions compliant kind of design, was it? A powerful
Oh, Mean
engine.
Street Mopar. Is that where I picked this up from? Maybe. Kim, I'm telling you what. Oh yeah, Mean Street Mopar. I think this is the. Is this the one you sent in? Oh yeah, there were two you sent in of the ball stud Hemi.
Um,
And then I gotta go to.
Dougster says Dick Landy had 7 of them. He was building for racing purposes. That's amazing. Wow.
And then Gary Stafford sent in one of my favorites. It's a flathead. It's old Briggs and Stratton. Jeez, can you believe that?
I've worked on a bunch of those.
Look at
They were
that.
all over the place
Look at
when I
the
was young.
look at where the main seal is and everything.
The main seal?
That's just ancient. The way that whole thing is down there is. I haven't seen
No,
one
that
like
means that's a reduction gear.
that's a reduction gear. I haven't ever seen that before.
Oh yeah, that was common for like cement mixers. You don't want to spin it
Oh
to
yeah,
400
yeah,
RPM.
the
They're
RPM
probably
like
like
that.
a 4-to-1 reduction gear. They were really not really common, but they put them on a lot of things. But yeah, without that, it was just yeah.
And then, oh, I can't make it any smaller. You're gonna have
Okay,
to do
well
that.
this is an easy fix. Look at that. I can. Oh, that's a V832 valve. What is
Can you
that?
make it any smaller than
It's a
that?
Ford 4.6. Oh,
That is a
absolutely. I've got the magic. Look at that.
4.6 Ford with 32 valves.
Yeah.
What is that? That's one. Didn't they put that in the? Is that the one they put like in the Lincoln Mark 8s or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
I never had late model engines like that unless they were just in something I had these mini lease cars out in Yuma, usually a month or 2 months at a time, and so I got to drive a lot of stuff, but I never owned them.
Olive got an ad for rapid radios instead of some probably fraudulent schemes.
Oh.
Well, you get 2 points for your advertisement. Thank you for being here and telling us about your advertiser. We are indebted to their support, so we like to call them out. And yeah, look, Stray Bullet says I have one of those reduction gear Briggs sitting on the shelf. He knows what I'm talking about.
Where is
I've
this?
seen a thing or two. Like I definitely
Where is
don't
it?
know everything. And sometimes I sort of shy away from even calling myself a mechanic because I know about the things I know about, and there's plenty of stuff I don't
Who
know.
who has one sitting on the shelf?
Stray Bullet said he did.
Oh, okay. I was. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay.
Dougster says Chrysler lost money on every 426 Hemi building the drivetrain. They wanted a cheaper option. I see. I wonder why it was so much more expensive to make. Oh man, we're jumping around fast.
And we all know what this is. 3800 Buick V6.
They made a 440 ball stud Hemi
And then what is
and a
this?
444. Wow.
Oh, this is a 455 Buick.
See?
And Luis says he likes the 73 AMC Javelin. I really like those. That was the first year I was in the Air Force, and I remember there were a couple of guys, even when I was school, that, so it was summer of 73. Gary Stafford and I ended up at the same, we are in different schools, but at the same base, so we hooked up there and hung out for a while. And he was finished, and he left, and then, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks later, I left. But there was a guy there that I remember bought a 73 AMC Javelin, and then there were some other people who had them on base when I got to California, to my permanent duty station. What is this? Oh, that's a Pinto. What Pinto is that?
Is it
Oh, it's a
2.3
2000.
engine?
That's a 2000, which was kind of the predecessor to 2.3. But there were a lot of those around, and then that one's, of course, that one's sort of hot rodded.
We didn't even talk about that Buick 3800.
I know. I've got a lot of pictures here, so I'm sort of going fast. I'm sorry.
He's overwhelmed. We could circle around too, guys. Obvious. If you didn't catch it,
There's that
tonight's
one,
topic is engines,
What the hell?
and we just showed up, and we're gonna see where it goes. We're gonna tell you about the stuff that we have that we are working on, but we're also just gonna look at cool pictures of motors, cause we can, and we'll talk about them. And we're glad you're here to share that with us. Maybe you'll be inspired, encouraged, just entertained. Those
What's
are good
this?
things.
Pitt says, "Good God, that engine bay is gorgeous." Which one was that? I looked at them too fast. I'm sorry.
Just want to cry when I open the hoods around here.
Oh,
Is it the
maybe.
good cry or the bad cry? Oh,
Which
yeah.
one was it? It was
That
this
one
one.
too.
It was
Yeah.
this one. I don't know which one he was looking at.
I don't know, but a bunch of these pictures are just amazing. The nice clean engine bays. The see, this one looks like a normal.
That's a 215. That's an aluminum Buick. 215 Buick.
Oh, that's the one that Dallas Brown's always talking about, right?
Yep. Yeah, well, Dallas is a Buick guy.
He said they made chainsaws out of them.
Oh yeah, they did.
That's insane.
It's insane, but they were lightweight.
Two guys could pick the motor up and run it like
Two
a
guys
chainsaw.
pick it up and run it, a chainsaw that's with a 215 Buick V8. That's crazy. And then Dallas, of course, he likes Buicks enough that his we went to get my parts car in Arkansas, and Dallas and we took his Suburban with a trailer behind it, and his Suburban is all Buick stuff. It's a Buick. It's a 400 cubic inch Buick, and then yeah, I gotta say it, switch pitch.
Switch pitch.
Switch pitch
man.
transmission.
You all get a point because he said switch pitch.
And then that was a fun trip, and I drove that rig, and it was pretty good having that 400 Buick and that transmission in there. Oh, here we go. So Kim, what is that?
Oh.
You know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Well,
that was
it's an inline.
That was pretty
6
common in the 60s.
with dual overhead cam, and it looks like about 3 carburetors on the side. Is there any giveaways, or do you?
Yeah, look at the oil
out?
cap, and imagine if somebody had put it on right side up. It says Jaguar. That's a 6-cylinder Jaguar.
It looks like they have
It's
powder.
not a V12.
Powder coated manifolds on it. I don't know if that's something special other than what.
It's an inline 6.
Look how
Jaguar.
shiny, like all the bolts and nuts and bolts and everything. That thing
somebody look at the exhaust. Can you imagine that exhaust staying like that with exhaust?
Somebody's detailed that with a toothbrush, the entire thing, after a complete and total polish and rebuild.
You know, I remember.
Nice.
Hey, Inspector Bruce is here. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Bruce.
So I remember Gary Stafford that's in here. I remember him out there he had a Datsun B210 that he bought new, and he'd come home after work and he's out there with a Q-tip getting all the little, keeping the engine compartment perfect, but he's got a Q-tip and he's going around the edges of the radiator hoses, keeping it just perfect, you know. And
all of Mexican spec and straight.
That's how detailed Gary was.
And straight bullet. You get 2 points each for typing in Jaguar before I could say it.
Jaguar. Oh, and this is the 383.
Oh, we're back to that's a 383. You guys know the easiest way to identify a big block versus a small block Mopar? It's so easy at a glance. I didn't know until...
What, because the way the distributor is?
The distributor's on the front on a big block. It's on the back on a small block. Super easy to know that. It's nice for tuning and it's nice for firewall.
You know,
when it's on the front.
Retired Inspector Bruce, he and I hung out together at Chanute Air Force Base, where I went to school in 1973, and Gary Stafford was there too. And I don't know if these two guys ever met, but they were there at the same time, and I was hanging out with both of them. So Bruce and Gary, and I mean, you're once again, maybe you're meeting here. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna go look at my email and see what else I've got here. Oh man, let's see here.
Doctor says, how about the GM Slim Jim transmission? No torque converter. Works on a fluid coupling. Well, fluid coupling is a torque converter, is it not? A different kind of torque converter?
Slim Jim transmission. No,
I'm going to look it up.
I don't know what kind of torque. I don't know what kind of fluid coupling it is. Okay, so right now, this is Mexican Spec sent in this. This is a Javelin. This is a Mexican Javelin. What size engine is that? It says 302. Mexican Spec, help me here. Gary was a crew chief, general aircraft maintenance. I was a jet mechanic, so we weren't in the same school. And then Bruce was electronics or instrumentation or something. So none of us in the same school, but we all hung out, going to the bowling alley, going places and doing stuff. Whatever you do when you're in school and you're in the military.
Oh, you gave it away, Mexican Spec says.
Oh, what's that?
I don't know, whatever you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. So tell me about it. Oh, you're going to ask what it was. Well, you wrote it in the email.
He was going to ask what the car is. What is that?
Oh, okay. Well, let me bring up the second picture he put. I'm sorry, man. Oh yeah, look at that. But I don't know what. Oh, man, I'm trying to figure this out. So, did somebody put a Ford engine in that thing? It is. It's a 302 Ford.
It looks like it, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
What's it in?
Well, I gave it away.
Okay. I didn't hear though because I'm.
Gary says go to the bowling alley after class and get drunk. You know, we had a few beers there. There was a kid. I mean, a little kid in there that, and you know, they had pinball machines. And that kid was little. He'd stand on a chair and he'd have his hands spread out like this, and you know, working the pinball machine. And the GIs would come along and give him some quarters, but usually he'd win enough he could keep going, and it was pretty funny. Oh yeah, Bruce says I spent a lot of time at the bowling alley. Yeah, that was the hangout when we were at the Chinook Air Force Base, which is now closed. It's now
a little kid was able to go in the Air Force Base.
Well, he's probably dependent. He's probably
a
kid,
military brat.
Yeah, a military brat, and he'd be in. You know, his father and mother, somebody's in there probably bowling, and so he's just got the run of the place, and he's up there. I'm not kidding. He had his arms spread apart as far as they go, and he's running the pinball machine. I remember that kid. The little kid was Tommy. Gary Zephyr. Hey, oh yeah, that's the other thing. Gary brings up that we get off school, we march back to the barracks, which is a big brick building, and it's kind of like a big U-shaped alcove thing. And you come in there, and they cut us loose, and there were guys out there that would show up, and they had these carts, and they had all these pizzas, and they had drinks, which we called soda or soda pop or pop, depending on where you Cokes, wherever you live. Well, in Illinois, it was pop. So that guy would get out there and he'd go, hey, pizza pop. And, you know, all these guys would buy the pizzas and stuff. But I was too cheap for that. You know, we're in the military. We had free food. I'd go eat the free food. Man, I probably ate one of those pizzas once.
How do you think he does it?
What's that?
What makes him so good?
Who?
The pinball wizard.
Oh. I'm still talking about something else. Okay, let's see here. I got to look at my email because I'm sure Buddy Carafano sent in. Buddy Carafano sent in a lot of stuff, and I've been ignoring his. I don't know why. Okay.
Thanks everybody who sent in pictures. We appreciate it. And it helps make the show more cohesive when we're all on topic a little bit. I like this. I like looking at pictures of engines. I could do this all day.
You know what that is? I mean, it says on there what it is, but
I don't know. It's an inline engine of some kind.
It's Pontiac Overhead Cam 6.
Oh, okay.
1966, 66, 7, 8, 9? I think it was 4 years they made that thing. It was an inline 6. It was kind of based on the Chevy 6, but, you know, they made it overhead cam, belt-driven. First overhead cam engine that was really...
Was it all aluminum or just a cylinder head?
No, it wasn't all aluminum. I had a friend out in California really liked those things, and he put one in a Chevy Nova that he drove around, and he had one. He built a I remember he built a Firebird, early first gen Firebird with one of those in it. But all his kids went to college, and he'd build them a car to drive to college, and they all had these engines in them. Yeah, they're belt driven, Mexican spec. Let's see. Mike N says, "See me in the Firebird." Oh, Pit Snipe Naval Base, Norfolk, and the surrounding bases have 5 friggin' bowling alleys. that was how that's how the military bases were. You know, you go off base, and what do you see? You see, like little local This is how it used to be 50 years ago. Little local hamburger joints, um, car dealers. What else? Um,
Now or then?
well,
I know then. I know
I can't
now.
pull the names out of my head because I'm stupid. That Buddy Carfano sent that in, the overhead cam 6. Um, man, I know the words, but my brain won't allow me to say them.
See you next time, Gary. Thanks for stopping
Gary's
in.
taking off. Okay,
We
hey,
talk for hours. Not
yeah,
everybody
Gary.
can stay.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Gary. Take care.
My zipper's down.
Dude,
This
zipper's
whole
down.
time I've been sitting here with my zipper down and nobody said anything.
Oh yeah,
Check
check
cashing.
cashing places.
They didn't
And
used to
I
have
know.
that though.
Pawn shops, barber shops.
Barbershops, yeah.
Yep, and that's like just what you see when you come off base.
Every-
And used cars, and new cars.
Chinese restaurants,
Oh, I don't know.
Asian buffets.
Man, I like Asian buffets, but I don't remember any of that there. Okay, I'm scrolling back to
Pitt says he could have chosen shore duty at the bowling alley, but that didn't sound career enhancing. But he thinks maybe he should have done it.
well,
One military surplus store and several pawn shops.
oh yeah, the military surplus
Payday
stores.
loan shops, yeah. Military. A lot of people here done military service. They know all about this.
Who is this? Oh, this is Vintage. Have we seen Vintage tonight? No strip joints.
I have not seen Vintage tonight. He might be in and not be able to type though.
Strip joints and mud wrestling. Usually that wasn't right off base, but you could usually find them in town somewhere. But I didn't go to those places, so I don't know. Let's see. Inspector Bruce says I bought several blacklight posters at the head shop.
Oh, they used to have those things.
The head shop. You know what I bought? I know right where that place is. I bought a big, because I was into radios, I bought this big shortwave radio and listened to all the shortwave stuff. And I bought that. I bet that place, man, what was the name of it? Pop's Head Shop. That was the name of that place right off base. Pop's Head Shop. And I bet that's where you were.
How have we gone so far
Oh,
off
it's
topic?
funny.
The Oriental Spa. Yeah, massage. Uh-huh.
So, did I download that? Let me see.
75% APR? Whoa! 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 Whoa!
What is
That's
this?
insanity.
Well, the the file name is GoPro. Okay, I've got to go back to email, figure out what this is. This is sent in by.
I don't know. It looks like the beginning of something.
Oh, it's a
good.
big block Mopar. He writes that. It's This is from Vintage, but Vintage drive an ambulance, so he could be out on a call or something right now. He doesn't always.
Oh yeah, sometimes when he's at work, he can't.
Sometimes
type in.
he's not able to hang out for the whole show, but it's.
Yeah, Doug's knows. Massage parlor. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Wait, what the heck? I didn't want to bring that back up. Why did that come up? Okay, there. So now. Oh yeah, there we go. This is from Vintage. Wow.
Oh, I like that valve cover. The big Holly.
Have you seen the valve covers on my 350 Chevy? I think they say Edelbrock. They look very much like that, but they say Edelbrock on them.
I can imagine them, but I'm not sure if that's really from seeing them or from.
Because that
I
thing,
don't take the cover off much. It just
thing's
kind of sits
that
there in the
thing's
corner and
that thing's undercover. So yeah.
breaks your ankles when you try and go around it. That transmission tail shaft housing has been kicked so many times.
Here we go from Buddy Carfano. Is this Buddy Carfano? Buddy Carfano. This is a Studebaker. Well, it's a Packard, 57 Packard, but they had the Studebaker 289 supercharged engine. So that's what that is.
Nice, nice.
Holly double pumper.
Man, in '57, if you bought that was a street monster, wasn't it?
Let me see.
In '57, everybody was buying them '57 Chevys. Those were so popular.
Where's that? If you like double pumpers, we got this.
Hey, did you guys see what
What is this? Oh,
DD Speed Shop's doing? You'll never guess. You'll never guess.
I didn't want to open that. I don't know what happened to that picture.
I don't know. Have you seen what DD Speed Shop's doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Groundbreaking. You'll never guess.
This thing is stuck now because I did something stupid.
Okay, just breathe. Anybody know? Anybody want to guess? First guess. What would if you were going to watch a DD Speed Shop video? The 57 Ford outsold the 57 Chevy.
It did.
Not know that.
It did. Ford and 57 killed it, man. Look at this. You like double pumpers? That's my Cougar. 327 Chevy in a 67 Cougar. Oh, here we got ads.
He's doing a four-door to two door conversion, Patrick Sullivan says, and you would be right. He's got another four-door 57 Chevy, and he's already got the parts. Oh, he's doing a 55. Yeah, Buddy Carfano got it too. 2 points. He is not building a Supra MK4, but that would be cool. I'd be good with that. Yeah, DD Speed Shop. He says he's going to document it much better this time. Like, step by step. Where in the past he's just like slammed it together and done a bunch of clickbait.
Got ads here.
The buy here, pay here lot was a bad deal. A lot of cars disappeared. It isn't as easy as you would think. No.
Oh, no, God. I had a buy here. I did that for a while.
Buy now, pay later.
I worked so hard in that place and made so little money. Okay, so let's see here. Domino's ad from Dougster. Bruce says...
2 points, Dougster. Thank you.
Ad for Six Studio.
Six or Wix Studio? I'll bet it's Wix Studio.
That's what I would think.
Make websites on Wix
That's what I would think it is.
That's cool. We should make a website so we can stream. And like we're only in 720p. We could go like 4K. It would be expensive.
Also says back my computer overheated. Needs a big radiator. Circulate coolant through.
You got to stand beside the AC unit while you're. I even turned the AC down for the stream because all these hot lights. It gets a little bit warm in here.
You got more ads.
Olive got a Google Fi ad. I don't know what that is, but you get 2 points.
Buddy Carfano, Nest thermostat ad.
Oh yeah, Nest. That's like one of those systems that you can connect everything together to the internet. So like you could go on your phone and turn the temperature up and down to your AC, or you can turn the lights off, or you can, turn the lights in the driveway on or something like that, or open the garage door, or you could have like a camera or a doorbell. What am I missing? Anything else interesting you can do with that Nest? I mean, I don't know. I don't got one, but it sounds cool. Like if you already, for the gift for the friend who has everything, right? Get him one of those Nest doorbells or something like that. That'd be cool. It might be neat. It's better than remember when everybody was getting those little things that talk to you?
Pop-Tart gone trucking. Can a girl get in the chat? Well.
Yeah, welcome.
Why not?
Welcome. We love the ladies.
Let's see. Buddy Carfano sent me a 421 Pontiac, but it went to it was a link to a link to a Facebook thing that I'm not signed into. I'm
Auto
sorry.
breaks.
I'm
Can't do it.
It's just too.
Sorry. Try and give us links to pictures. Oh, I'll even put the thing in.
So what is this?
Not because we need more pictures for the show, but because just if you weren't aware, we have an email and you can send
And
pictures.
this
We
is a
love to
copy,
see
and that's a copyrighted
Pop
picture.
Tart. If you can, email us a picture of your truck, right? If you got a truck, like if you're legit a trucking kind of person, send us a couple pictures of your trucks. We'd love to see it, or engines from your trucks, but it doesn't matter. We always want to see people's their own projects, because most of these pictures are not. Although, whose is this? This picture that we're looking at right now.
That's vintage.
Okay, so
But
this
I'm-
is a
I'm-
friend of the show. This is the project that they're working
I'm
on.
working on. Yeah, but we just happen to be looking at engines tonight. But I'd be real happy to look at people's vehicles and their shops and whatever you're doing. You know.
Yeah, we get to know each other, and we all hang out on a Tuesday in the studio. Now, we also live streams on Thursdays and Saturdays, but we start a lot later, and we're up at the shop. We don't got the green screen. We're just in there. We've been working on his car, his 78 Mercury Zephyr. We just got that. Now we're done. We don't have any more cars to work on ever again.
we got so many projects hanging out. Well, this
Never-ending project.
This is single overhead cam Ford 427. Pretty
Pop
cool
Tart's
engine.
the owner of the entire company. Well, thank you for joining us tonight.
So
Being an owner is a big job.
I've got a bunch of 18 wheelers.
Wow.
So where are you? I mean, I don't want your address. I mean, like, are you in Nebraska or Maine or New Mexico? Canada? I don't know.
Olive says, this one's on metal. Still needs periodic reboots. You know, my phone hardly ever demands I reboot. It's really stable. Now that I said that, it'll never work right again, but I don't know. I'm sorry you're having trouble with your phone tonight, Olive. But thanks for being here. Thanks for trying.
Here, if this is what it says it is what it says it is. Buddy Carafano sent this. That's a 420. Oh, it says 350. Oh, from a 58, 350, which is the smallest of the big block Chryslers, and it's a Golden Commando, called the Golden Commando P8. Up there it says Raleigh, North Carolina. Well, that's cool. Been a while since I've been there, but I have been there. Oh God, I got a story from there. I'm not sure if I should tell it.
Is it a story about this engine?
Now, it's a story about Raleigh, North Carolina. It's a stupid story. I don't want to tell
You're
it.
allowed. Okay, don't
No,
skip it.
It's just somebody that did something stupid, and I ended up.
Dougster said this is his favorite Cars character. I thought I'd bring it up just for fun.
Pop Tart says, should be back.
The King. From the movie Cars, which is about Lightning McQueen. But the King is a character.
Look at that. That's like a wing car that's not a wing car.
It's a wing car that's characterized into a
Caricature.
person. Yeah, it's fun.
Andrew
Okay.
Buttons here. Good evening.
I'm going back to engines, guys. You know, they never popped the hood to show you what engines they got in there. In that
Okay,
Cars
can
movie.
you zoom in just a little?
I think I can do the bigger zoom.
That is a Ford Flathead that's built.
Nice.
Built like they used to build them.
Wow.
So, do you think you'd have heat problems with that? And the reason I ask is the center two. You've probably never been into a flatbed. That's why I'm talking about it. The center two cylinders. Imagine how a flathead looks. The valves come up like this.
Yeah.
The center two exhaust valves go between the cylinders and come out the center. That's why there's only 3 tubes. So you got 2 cylinders feeding an exhaust tube that goes between the cylinders.
Oh.
So it gets warm.
I'll bet it does.
And they always
Wow.
have massive radiators. And they worked well. But, yeah. Louis
Yeah, that'd be
says,
a major consideration.
Rugrats go wild, please.
We're not doing Rugrats.
Not doing
Louise
Rugrats.
loves Rugrats.
I know, I love
Every
Rugrats.
stream. we get asked to do Rugrats stuff, but we're doing automotive. Automotive.
Oh, here's a nice one. I thought it was a Ford 427 Tri-Power, but it's not. It's a Chevrolet 427 Tri-Power.
Is that a big block?
Yes. It's like a, a
427. Okay.
It's like a 454, only it was before
That's a
454.
terrible picture. It just doesn't
I
look
don't
all
know,
grainy.
it's probably zoomed
like-
in too far. Yeah, I don't know.
Ew.
He sends links. He doesn't send his own pictures. He sends
He
links.
does okay.
So
Thank you
that's-
for
so you-
sending us links.
So when you send links, sometimes you get
It gives us inspiration. It
You
keeps
get-
things moving.
sometimes you get really sharp pictures. Sometimes you get little tiny pictures that I zoom in on, and then it's it's not as good.
Stray Bullet says those flathead engines are the least visually appealing engines ever built. I disagree. I think an LS is one of the most difficult engines to make look nice.
I don't think LXs look good at all, but they sure run.
Well, this is an LS, isn't it?
No, that's a small block.
Is it?
Yeah, that's like what's it say behind my shoulder? I can't. It's a
It is.
350.
It is.
That's what I have under that tarp.
Yes. No, you don't. Don't pretend.
Well, it has different valve covers, has Edelbrock valve covers, and it doesn't have that serpentine belt.
Or aluminum heads.
Oh yeah, that's got aluminum heads.
Or a
yeah.
chrome fuel pump. Or a chrome intake manifold.
I may have a chrome fuel pump.
Or fancy as that. We do have a chrome alternator.
Yeah, it has a chrome alternator.
Engines! I get it, engines. Luis, thank you for being here. Oh, you're no trouble at all.
So let's see. I gotta go back to my
Stray
emails.
Bullet says we don't know if it's a big block because Dean isn't here to tell us. Where is Dean tonight? Is he somewhere else?
He
abandoned
was here.
us.
He was here.
He's probably on 3 or 4 different live streams at the same time.
Okay, so Patrick Sullivan sent a picture of a Pontiac Overhead Cam 6 with no picture.
Okay.
It's not attached.
Mike N says, if you squint, it's practically the same engine, Kim. I mean, it's the same engine family.
What's that?
Yeah, the engine you have under the tarp is a pretty nice engine. It would really.
I don't know. I didn't build that engine. Somebody else built that engine.
You said it was running and everything, though. You
We
heard
ran
run?
it. Yeah, Vern and I started. It was running, but he bought the whole car. It was a '57 Studebaker. It had that small block and a turbo 350. But the guy died, and he bought it on an estate sale. So we knew it had never been driven, but it had been started. So we started that day and then pulled the engine out. That was the day I got run over by the Studebaker. So
Mexican Spec points out that that's an expensive setup on the front of that engine. Yeah, that's what? Let's see. Pulleys are special. Billet pulleys, billet bracketry, alternator pulley, air conditioner pulley. Oh man, I'll bet you that's $1,000 worth of serpentine. What do you think?
next Z7 engine. I've got that 350 Chevy sitting there, and I keep talking about it, but I don't know. I'd probably upset a lot of people if I put a 350 Chevy in my C7. Here we've got a
350 Chevy is the motor hot rodders put in everything. They're a good motor.
Well, and you know what? I'm on a budget now. I'm not working with great income where I can just go buy all the cool stuff. So a 350 Chevy is pretty good because you go on eBay and buy intake manifolds and headers and stuff, cheap stuff that's used that really works, So this one anyway was sent by Dougster.
Dougster says the 80s called and they want their billet small block Chevy parts back.
So Dougster sent this and this. But what's that?
That's his tunnel ram, and he made wooden spacers.
Wooden spacers.
That'd be good for blocking heat transfer. I mean, you think about it, right? When you just start driving and you're in some old bomber and you're looking through the parts catalogs and you're like, oh, I want this and I want that. You don't get to actually enjoy. Most people don't get that money and the time to do that kind of stuff until they're like retired. And then they're like, I want all this stuff that I could never have. Well, in their mind, they're still back
Oh, that's
20,
how I
30
am.
years ago. And they want the stuff that was cool to them then.
Oh, and
So
I'm like
they're
that.
building the motors from yesteryear. You know, young people are building LS motors and Godzilla motors and
Tim's here.
stuff like that because that's what's like new and hot. But like the people with the real money, like the investment grade uh, time and money, they're building the old stuff because that's what they remember, and that's where they see the value, and that's the mentality was different. You know, a lot of these new motors, it's like one good run. Like you're building a motor every race. That's crazy.
Tim says, made it. Spent the afternoon under the truck. Slow progress.
Did you fix it yet, Tim?
Didn't you fix it?
It's tough. I know. It took us weeks and weeks. You mean you worked on it for a half an hour and you're not done yet? Didn't you watch that TV show where 50 people finish a car in one day?
Yeah, who was it? I can't think of people's names. Ian Russell. You know, he was on TV. Now he's on YouTube. And he goes, no, it doesn't take 37 minutes to build a car. It takes 2 years to build a car. And people, you know, are upset because it doesn't move fast enough for them.
I mean, your car, we bought it in the fall, like October.
Oh, and we aren't even building. We're just fixing a bunch of
That's the
stuff.
thing is it
We're
was
just-
already in really good condition when we bought it. And we've been working on it since December.
Okay, you're going to have to back it up a bit.
Back them out, back it out.
That
Doo.
is what the Pontiac overhead cam 6 looks like with the overhead cam apart.
Oh, it looks a little dusty.
And look at the intake manifold. They came with a quadrijet.
That's a good size. They're expecting some flow.
I think they were, what are this? 215 horsepower or something, the ones with the 4-barrel?
It's not cross flow though.
No. No, but that's, you know, that was like the horsepower of a lot of small V8s.
Mm-hmm. Two J's will last if you don't blow them up by being stupid. See, I don't know those motors yet.
2JZ, I don't know what that is.
A 2JZ, I don't know if it's a Toyota or a
It's a
Datsun, Nissan. Oh man, see, you guys will get into territory that I don't know.
what, Ian Russell? He doesn't pronounce it Russell. He pronounces it Russell. Ian Russell? I think he does.
Andrew Button suggests that we ought to get the Z a wooden carb spacer. That would solve your heat soak
Maybe.
problems.
I think, see, everything is stock. It should work stock. I don't want to add stuff and change stuff. I want to just make it work. And I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to work toward that a little bit. If I put money in that thing or start making stuff, it's going to be on a bigger engine. You know, it's going to be on my whatever.
Yeah,
V8 is.
well, he wants to daily it for a while the way it is.
Yeah, I'm just going to run it. I'm just going to run it for a while.
And it goes down the road good, but when you really stand on it, it's lackluster. It goes, but it's just not.
It's just a
Not
car.
setting any land speed records in the darn thing.
Buddy Carpano sent this in.
Oh, it's a rotary engine.
Man, I've been into so many of those. Look, that was back in the late 70s and early 80s. I rebuilt like 40 of those things.
I've only ever seen them in pictures. I used to think that was the coolest thing, and someday I wanted to work on one.
Get one. I'll show you how to take it apart and put it together.
They're expensive.
Are they? Yeah, we used to get them for nothing. We used to get
Yeah.
the whole car for like 80 bucks.
I mean, you could get a junk one for nothing, but then you'd end up.
Well, and of course, I had a big stash of parts, used stuff. All, you know, I could put one
We
together
do
out of
not
junk.
need to start a new genre of
Yeah.
engines. We've got Dodges and Fords and Chevys and yeah, that's a lot of different kinds of engines. I think we have to draw the line somewhere.
Stray Bullet says, "What about a
bigger
wooden?
shop.
What about a wooden carburetor?" Well, you know, what's his name? Garage 54, the guy in Novosibirsk in Russia, out in Siberia. He built a car with built an engine with wooden pistons.
Yeah,
Didn't
and
run
they
very,
lasted
didn't
not
run very long. Stray Bullet says, if Ian pronounces his name like that, he's a weirdo. Yeah, but it isn't Russell. It's spelled differently. It's Russell. Ian Russell. I'm sure it is. Isn't it? Look him up. How's it spelled? Ian Russell. Wood doesn't hold fluids well. And yes, no tolerance.
It suggests it's Russell, Roussel.
Yeah, and Mike N just put that. Russell is a common Cajun last name. Yeah, he was born in New York. There he is. Yeah, he was born in New York City, or New York, somewhere around New York City, and then he moved to California, and now he's out in the desert in California.
Oh, it's a Toyota Supra engine.
Okay.
Fast and Furious thing. Right. Oh, they can be fun, but like you're talking out of my pay grade. A small block Chevy, you can build a really honking small block Chevy for, I don't know, half the price of a good 2JZ. I don't know. Maybe less. I don't, maybe I'm wrong. It's just not the place that I've been. I don't know. I'd like to learn. It sounds interesting. I can't go in so many directions. Somebody like the really famous people do. They bounce around and they work on this and that and the other thing, and it's tempting, but honestly, it's overwhelming. We can't do all
Okay,
that.
see, Andrew Button says yes, but the alcohol and fuel now makes it so the fuel boils off. So one has to make adjustments. You know, we did. We put.
We did put the ethanol.
We're putting
fuel in.
ethanol-free fuel in it.
No luck
And
yet.
we can buy that here, you know. So
We're trying.
and it only did it once since we did all that. So yeah.
We have not put a lot of miles on the car since we brought it back from Texas.
That car has 45 miles on it since we did all the work.
And we've done a lot of tinkering. So there's still going to be a lot of ironing out. But overall, it's really turning into a good car. You know, the new wheels are fancy.
Oh, Dougster
nice,
says,
safe rubber.
Dougster says, headed to bed. Good night. Have a good day.
Dougster's sending off early. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks
Guys,
for stopping
check
in.
out Dougster Wolverine Garage. He streams on Monday nights. And
Monday
it's a lot
nights.
of fun.
Yep, he does pretty good
He's
stream.
an entertaining guy, and his chat is busy with people talking about all manner of automotive adjacent stuff. He's part of our No Name Nationals family.
Yep.
And he's also trying to get to his 500 subscribers so he can participate in the event.
Yeah, go subscribe to Dougster.
If you have not, please do. The Toyota Cressida
is how I used to pronounce
had
it.
an inline 6, but which one? I don't know.
Wooden pistons wouldn't be very good under detonation. It would sound like a Woody Woodpecker. Yeah, they
Burn holes.
They ran, but not for very long. Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched Garage 54. There's the English version, which he's in Russia, so they translate everything into English. It's the guy's
It's a terrible dub,
does some hilarious stuff.
Yeah, it's like red green quality stuff, but they actually have a machine shop and they have a bunch of guys, so they do big projects. They build new engines,
crazy stuff.
Build like a 4-cylinder engine where all the pistons are in a row instead of offset at different.
You had all the pistons going up and down at the same time. They're all in the intake stroke at the same time. So they tried this, and it didn't work worth a darn. But I got thinking about it. You know why it doesn't work worth a darn? Because it's trying to draw that through the carburetor all at once. And, that's not going to work well. Because a 4-cylinder normally would spread that out over 4 strokes, So, it's pretty good. But he does the, who is it? It's somebody else that does the dubbing into English. So it's dubbed, but it's plenty good enough.
It's still entertaining. Olive says they're expensive now because they are running out. I mean, they're sought after. They're pretty amazing, fun cars.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to ask you to go back to my screen.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even know where I was. Wasn't paying attention.
So we went from the rotary engine to Buddy Carfano sent this in, an older Johnson outboard, which is kind of an interesting looking.
Is it a 75 Johnson with electric choke?
I have no idea what it is.
That's from a song.
Oh, I had no idea what you were talking about.
2 hands on the wheel, can't replace the way it made me feel, and I'd say, turn it left now, steer it right, straighten up, girl, you're doing just fine.
I'm sorry. I'll show it, but I don't like these engines.
Oh, what is it?
4100 Cadillac. Pain in the ass engine. Absolute pain in the ass engine. That's the one that GM sends you these pills of stop leak you put in there because the blocks are so porous that the coolant went into the oil. And their fix was they sent everybody stop leak. Man, I guess it worked. But I didn't like that engine.
Stray Bullet's asking about cast concrete pistons. The brittleness. I don't know how you would, like, you'd have to reinforce the concrete with something, but they would be so brittle. I don't know how. Ceramic pistons, maybe. Right. Andrew's on. Ceramic pistons have been discussed.
Mexican Spec 4100 boob. So I was afraid you were going to like them for some reason. I was thinking Mexican Spec's going to like this engine for some reason because he used to work for GM dealers. Yeah, that's a disaster.
Stray Bullet says Evinrude and Johnson are the same engine. I didn't know that. Is it like Ford Mercury? Same car, different badging?
Well, that's the other thing. Mercury engines are not Ford or Mercury. They're something else. It's a different company. What were Mercury engines? They were, I don't know who made those engines, but I know it wasn't the Mercury that's Ford. You know, the marine engines. Yeah, this is a knucklehead.
Oh, that's a motorcycle.
It's a Harley.
Hardly.
Oh, look at it. Hippie Long says ceramic bearings. Well, you know,
Yeah, they make those.
Garage 54 just did one where they melted the babbitt off the bearings, and then they coated them with Teflon, sprayed Teflon on them, and they coated the crankshaft with Teflon and put the thing all together, and it ran great. And then they said, well, it just drove like a normal engine. And then he said, well, you know, Teflon's supposed to run without oil. So then they drained the oil out. They took the oil pan off and drove it well.
It worked about as good as a dollar store skillet.
That didn't work very long, but it was entertaining. Mexican Spec says Mercury is for boats. Yeah, Mercury was a different Mercury though. GM made Mercury for inboards. I thought, yeah, that's what I thought it was. GM for the inboards.
Magic is here. Welcome to the stream. Says, I love old American engines because you'll have like a 7-liter V8 making 150 horsepower. Yeah, right. And it's probably like 6.5 to 1 compression ratio, and it will run any gasoline you give it, and it will last for, well, I don't know, not forever, but for a long time.
I want to know.
And they're cheap.
Somebody
plentiful in junkyards until they're not.
Somebody sent this picture in.
Oh, I think that's broken.
Somebody sent this picture in, but I want to know who sent it in because I don't want to read somebody's real name on their email.
That looks like somebody hit it with a sledgehammer a couple too many times.
You got to tell me who you are in here.
Is that, what kind of motor is that?
Doesn't say.
What would cause it to fail like that?
I should know what that is by the way the intake manifold fits.
If it froze, that could crack it, and then it would break apart.
Oh, Mean Street Mopar sent it in. Okay, so that's Mean Street Mopar. All right.
I mean,
if you send emails, put your screen name in there so I know who you are, because I don't want to read your real name and address and everything on here.
Oh, it's very broken.
Okay, so
catastrophic failure.
We're gonna look at the broken part. Oh man. Yeah, that's not repairable.
If it was a Hemi, a classic Hemi, somebody would try. Uncle Tony would try and weld it. JB weld it back together. Fill the
Oh,
block up with block filler and run it.
Straight Bullet says Merc Cruiser outdrives. They've used everything except for AMC and Chrysler as their boat engines. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of a mess. See what else I've got. What is this? '87 Buick.
It's a Buick Olds Pontiac engine of some sort, says Main Street Mopar.
Can you zoom on that a little? Because
Okay.
that's one I can't zoom. It's
I got
it's a
the
link.
zoom.
It's a link, so I can't.
Look at me. Look at the power. Look at the power. Look, I can bring this motor. I can put this motor here. And then, check this out. Look at this power.
What are you doing?
I can put us over here.
Oh, geez.
Look at that. Now I'm the host. I'm the host of
So
this
that's
show.
Buick, turbocharged Buick.
Look, I'm Busto Campo.
Andrew Bud says,
Okay,
I'd
I'll
like
put it back. Sorry.
I would like to run a 4100 and just slick 50 and see how long it would last without oil, especially under boost. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, right, to blow up a motor? I don't know. Just someone's wallet. JB weld it back together and send it. Just someone's wallet? Oh, was someone hurt when that blew up? Yeah, someone's wallet. Speaking of wallets blowing things up.
What?
Nick's garage.
Oh,
just
yeah. Did
did a
anybody see it?
video.
Did anybody see Nick's garage with a Hemi?
I mean, we're talking about engines. They said they rebuilt that engine twice, and it was burning oil. And
Well, he didn't
I was
do it.
watching it.
He didn't do it. Somebody else did it.
Right.
A
Somebody else
customer
did
of
it.
his. Here we got ads.
They were trying to get Nick to sort out what the problem was.
Yeah, it was a customer of Nick's had bought it from somebody that built it, and man, it's a good video if you want to see what happens when an engine comes apart. Yeah, Mike N says Nick blew a Hemi. Well, somebody did something wrong on that engine.
I run Nick's video at 1.5 speed because he talks really slow. I watch a lot of stuff.
The thing about Nick is he's really repetitive. He's worse than I am at being repetitive, you know.
It's very showy kind of video format, but the content is there. It's just they drag it out a lot more than they had. Buddy Carfano got a gum out ad.
Gum
That's
out.
awesome.
Been a long time since I've seen gum
Carburetor
out.
cleaner. No one has carburetors
We
anymore.
gotta buy some gum out just because I don't remember exactly what that stuff was like.
Well, that's how you remove your dentures, with gum out. Thanks,
You're
buddy. You get 2
you're
points.
crazy.
For tell us about the
You're
advertisers.
crazy. Are you sitting way back? It looks like I'm like way up forward. And you're like,
You're just a really big, manly man, so you show up more on camera. It's the angle of the camera. It's that way intentional. Because I'm not the host. I'm like the Ed McMahon.
lock
Tim
and stitch.
McMahon.
Okay, and Inspector Bruce got ad for DTNA parts. What's DTNA?
Andrew Button knows. That's right. Some block filler to stiffen it up. And some, maybe you're really good with brass. You could braise it a little bit. It'd be good. Put some snake oil in there. It's good. Send it. Oh, what's this turbo? Is this a Chrysler turbo?
Yeah, it's a 2.2, probably a 2.2.
This is what they put in.
Well, Mexican Spec knew what it was right off.
The
K
little
car
K
turbo.
cars and the Daytonas and the Chargers that they made in the early 80s. These little motors were everywhere. My dad had one of these in a Dodge Aries or Plymouth Reliant. I was in the middle of talking about it. You're tough. Tough to work with. I think we had a Plymouth Reliant. It might have been like an 85, right? And the head gasket, like right there in the middle, between like the 2 and 3 spark plug down below, the head gasket was real thick on the outside. And it just a little hole blew out and it was just shooting coolant out of it.
Levi's only going to be here for a minute. He says, dang, is that car in the thumbnail, the Fairmont you bought, that car looks killer. good to see you all. Yeah, it is.
It does. We're having fun.
That's the one. It took me 9 months to get it to
I
that
got him
point.
some wheels.
Kim bought me wheels and tires, and
Because these tires are all dry rot. They were from 2004, and they were in Texas, and they were all cracked. And he's talking about taking it on, doing some travel, getting out with it this summer. We're gonna take it to No Name Nationals.
And I'm like, they hold air. They'll be okay.
3 hours on the highway. I'm like, no, we need tires that are current. So somebody local on Facebook Marketplace, he's got a Fox Body Mustang. He's putting newer, better wheels he likes better, and he's selling the whole set with the tires for a really fair price. Like, I couldn't buy tires for the price I got for that whole set of wheels and tires. I ran up there. It's like a 40-minute drive. I got in my car Saturday morning. He had listed them like 3 hours before. I was like, I'm coming to get him. He was like, okay. It had caps. It had the lug nuts. I was like, I don't know how to haggle. You have everything. And so.
And they look good on my car.
Made a deal.
And the car drives nice. Kim went under there and put the new front end parts on.
Both new inner tie rod ends. And they were bad.
And between that and the rear end, because that was all clinky back there, and we got that so it's tightened up, the control arms and everything. And then put the wheels and tires on it. Man, that thing drives so nice, man.
Months of hard work has come to fruition. And my car is running as well. I can get out and get in I just got the new alternator on my car, and I haven't had anywhere to go since I did that. We've been working on your car.
You went to your meeting on Thursday night.
I go out on Thursday nights. It's about the only time I take my...
So you drove it at night with a new alternator, and everything was fine.
Oh, the lights are so bright. The dash is like, everything is... Actually, I got to check and make sure there's a good wire through the firewall, because that's like a fire hazard, running a 70-amp alternator in an old Mopar. So I got to work on that. But other than that, so now we have both cars that we have ready for No Name Nationals running and driving, and we're doing like the fine tuning on them now.
Mine needs a couple little things.
Major overhaul crap.
Mine needs a couple little things, but it's actually pretty good right now. Okay, can I put this hit and miss engine up?
Yep.
Okay, I gotta grab it again.
And we're putting up videos. Have you guys seen our videos recently? We're trying to make more long-form content. And 2 shorts a day. He's been on it. He's working his butt off.
Well, John Wilburn, over a year ago now, put up the 1 short a day for 30 days challenge. So I did it, and it worked so well that I did it for a year. I picked up a lot of subs. And then when he did it this year, I said, oh, he's doing it again. I think I'll start putting up two shorts a day. And I have been. And I think it helps.
Busload of faith? Yeah, we've been working on that.
Hit Mexican Spec says, Buff and Kim, please do a longer test on both cars before you head off to No Name Nationals. Well, No Name Nationals, what, 70 days away or something? I mean, that's my daily driver.
He's going to start driving it every day. And everything that comes up that's problematic, we're going to address it. And I mean, we took my car last year and we built a new motor, changed out the transmission.
Her car, we took that. Of course, my Mazda got wrecked, so we had to pile everything in her car. And then it set too low, and Dr. Go came up there. He and his wife showed up at the hospital where I was. And so we loaded stuff in his car, and we all came back here, heavily loaded in that Dart. And so the Dart made the whole trip. But it was leaking oil. So we got back, and we pulled the engine out, and she pulls the pistons out, and the rings are just falling off in pieces. It's like, I can't believe something like that drove all the way
to... It ran good.
Drove all the way to No Name Nationals.
It got horrific gas mileage, and it puked oil everywhere along the way.
But it ran well.
80 miles an hour, it didn't even struggle.
Piston rings just falling off the pistons in like 2 and 3 pieces. It's amazing.
Is that a tractor engine?
That's a hit and miss. You know what a hit and miss is? It regulates its RPM by missing. Tum, 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 tum. You ever heard one of those? And they've got those big flywheels, so the RPM stays about the same.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a hit
for like water pumps or machinery?
It's ancient stuff. Yeah. Ancient stuff.
Hey, Eon 55 is playing Call of Duty.
I don't know if I doubt it's a tractor engine, but it could be. I think it's some kind of a ground Power engine. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. It says Ag Week. You can always count on the hit and miss engine. Ag Week. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Andrew Button says the Fairmont series of car was really lacking in the wheel department from the factory. Yours had the grandpa type metal cap. Yeah, that's what Kim said. She goes, "You look like an old man driving with those hubcaps." But some of them had silver plastic hubcaps that were just awful. My first one had those ones, those silver plastic ones that had the little spoke-like things, the looks like a inlet to a turbine engine, but they were plastic. Yeah, I had those. Uh,
Mike says, let's see a 2JZ run with broken piston rings. Let's not. Give the 2JZ a break, you know? It was built a different time. The 2JZ is a much more modern engine.
Here's another one for Buddy Carpano.
Oh, look at
You'll like that.
Wow, that is a trick engine.
There's what Kim will have in her Dart next year. Oh man.
No,
I bet that would go good. And you got a better radiator than that.
I'll bet you that puts out 200 horsepower. If it's done
No.
right. Yeah.
That? You start pressurizing that?
Yeah, you can't be much more than double the horsepower. The biggest, most beastly Slant 6 I've ever even heard of was like 450 on the dyno, which is a lot in an A body. I mean, it's fantastic. But getting there takes
Straight Bullet says
decades of dedication.
I knew someone would post a hit and miss engine.
I mean, it's like this channel. We're pretty hit and miss.
Next Suspect says he wasn't talking about the turbine type. Yeah, that's what mine had. They look like. Can you look that up? Like 79. I know the 79 had a 79 Futura wheel covers or something, and there'll be enough of them. We'll figure it out. Man, that's all the old man ones. What the hell?
Were they called turbine?
What the hell they were called? Jeez. Look at slow back, go back down. One's on the upper left-hand side.
These ones?
Yeah, I think that was them. Yeah. I think that's what mine had. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't remember real well now. I remember mine had. Jeez. Well, they weren't stamped out like that. They were more like the. Go slow down. Go back up a little bit. I don't know. There. What's that? 79 to 90. Mustang turbine design hubcaps.
It's pretty much the same as.
Yeah, I think it was very much like that.
The
But I sure like the wheels I have now, Kim. Yeah, that's
man.
that's what I had on my other
okay,
one.
they're just painted a little different, is all.
So yeah, well, this time I had the old man ones.
Look, Mike says if you squint, Kim's engine is practically the same as this one. Mike.
Okay, you got to put
the same family.
You got to put the engine back.
Hey, my Slant 6 probably gets 110 horsepower, which honestly is a lot of fun in an A body. It's not a tire burner or anything, but it's a lot of fun. What do I got to do? Oh,
I want you to put the Slant 6 back on.
The Slant 6. Okay. There it is. And there it is bigger.
Yeah, that's a nice looking engine. I like that. I like the whole cleanliness of that thing. Just looks good. And you know what? You got a better alternator than he does.
Oh, I do have a more modern alternator. I don't know.
Okay, so now
it's nice. It looks like an older build with fresher paint under the hood.
Who sent this? Buddy Carfano,
nice
maybe?
Chrome,
Yeah, Buddy Carfano sent that. Whizzer bike.
Whizzer! Zoom! I don't know. I think my days of riding bikes are probably about over.
What are you going to do with that mini bike you have? That crazy...
Throw it away.
Don't throw that away. That's a nice mini bike.
I just got parts for the racing mini bike. I just got some more parts. I'll have to make a
But-
video about it real soon.
I thought you were thinking about selling that orange one.
The orange one?
Oh, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just kidding me.
No, the orange one should get sold. I'm not gonna ride it.
Can you unzoom just a little?
Kim needs a supercharger on her engine. Man, I looked at a couple of those Vortex superchargers. They're about $2,000. And I could fit one on there and it would really, really give it the boost. But we have turbo, and I do have all the stuff to build a turbo for a Slant 6. Or we could put a turbo on his 200, but he wants to just
I don't
upgrade
want. I don't want to
engine.
mess with the 200. I want to just drive it the way it is.
So
I want to make sure it's running right. If you want to use that turbo on your car, all that stuff is for a Slant 6.
yeah.
And I got tubing and
It's-
turbo and intercooler and everything. I don't know if you have room for an
It's
intercooler
still
up there.
in the pipe. Oh, sure, I could fit one in there somewhere. It's still in the pipe.
Can you make that a little bit?
It's a Volkswagen. Farfignugan. No, it's not.
That's like way smaller.
What do you mean?
Isn't there something in between?
No, there's nothing in between. Do I look magic to you? Do you think I have the
You
power
look
to
at that. You're doing it.
alter everything?
Yeah, that's a nice looking
to
Volkswagen engine.
distort time and space and our scale therein? I think not.
Louis says, I like bike. Also, I remember Kira rides a bike in the movie Rugrats in Paris. Likes the movies. Kim, it feels like something's crawling on me back here. What's going on? Right up about here.
You're
I
having
don't
a
know.
stroke.
Probably some little bug just like walking around.
Tick. When you slap a tick, it just lays down and then gets back up and starts.
I don't have
crawling
any
again.
ticks. I know what a tick
They're
feels
little
like.
tanks. You gotta.
Ticks are nasty and they're rugged. So did everybody see the video with talking about the mouse?
We talked about that video earlier.
I know, but there's people in here want to hear.
We're gonna have more.
Yeah.
It's a mouse.
It's a mouse.
We're
We
gonna
lost our
have-
mouse.
More videos about my car coming up in the future. Let's see what's coming in the future on the channel.
Well,
We want to fix the air conditioning in your car. I
Kim-
think that's probably
Kim bought me a compressor,
Yeah.
which is mostly what that car needs. But then the high pressure line is a piece of crap, and somebody spliced it together with hose clamps. I mean, you don't want to run that.
it leaks.
So we've got to get a high pressure line, but you can't just go buy one anymore. You got to.
We really need
Gotta
to
make
go
it.
over the system. It's 47 years old and the compressor is seized solid. So we have a compressor, but we need to make sure everything else is good before we hook it up.
We went over it pretty good.
We got a
And
better
I think,
understanding.
yeah, I mean, I looked it over real well, and I think mostly what we need to do is replace that.
And then we got to rent
line.
the tool because we don't have the vacuum.
My
thingamajigger.
vacuum pump is so worn out. I don't even know where it is anymore, because
That's what I have to find.
I
the
did
gauges.
I did air conditioning. I think I had 2 of those things. I think I wore 2 of them out.
When the ambient air temperature in the shade is 90 degrees, it's really hard to go anywhere. You went to the doctor's this morning, or no, it was early afternoon, but it was so hot you were sweating by the time you got to the doctor. And like you know, if it's your primary vehicle, it's nice to have air conditioning here in the South.
Can you zoom a little bit on that?
Oh, it's a Ford 6 with a
Yeah.
turbo. Turbo.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Now look at the head.
Turbo.
You know what that head is?
Turbanoski.
That's 2 LS heads, Siamese together.
Oh, it's sliced and diced. Who built that one?
I don't remember who that is, but there's a guy on
There was a guy who's
YouTube
building
channel
that,
does that.
and
Yeah.
then some big channel stole his idea and did it quick.
Mike N says need R12. You know what? We got looking at that thing, and it's got an R12 connection on the high side, but down below where I couldn't see it, the low side connection is an R134. Somebody's already converted it to R134, so we're going to run it with R134.
Or they just jammed some R134 in there a while back. 47 years is a long time for an air conditioning system. Who knows what they did to it? But whatever it was that they did was wrong because the compressor seized up. So we really have to double check, blow out the lines, make sure there's no
So
trash
Raw
in them
Dog's
or
here.
anything. Hey, Raw Dog, welcome to the stream.
Not going out with my two girls. Two girls are fighting over him tonight. But it's a shame when people are making references to crappy movies from 1999, not old or interesting. Go back to 65 or 75 for interesting stuff.
Andrew, that's what they know. That's what Luis knows. That's their frame of reference.
So
they
what do we
like
got
the
here?
movie quotes.
You're going to have to fix that.
We're not too far off, though.
Mexican Spec
Well, that's a really pretty car.
sent this. It's
Yeah.
one of the ones. Yeah, nice looking Javelin. What year is that? 69. And
you guys are Mexican Spec, our moderator. He's a big help. He's always here helping us out from start to finish most nights, unless he's working. And Mexican Spec, check out Mexican Spec on Instagram. And Mexican Spec can give you links to anything that any place you want. Get to know Mexican Spec. He's got all these cool antique classic Mexican cars.
look at that.
They're a little different.
Look at that. It's got like a
sometimes
grill.
in the really good ways.
It's got a grill between the taillights. Ours didn't look like that.
And he helps people buy them if they want to buy them. But it's just cool to see the stuff he does. The stuff
Look
he
at how
finds.
nice that is.
Somebody's really done a nice job on the restoration there.
Mexican Spec, this is one of the ones you have for sale. I'm having throat problems here.
Dean Stevenson says York compressors do seize up. It's an old design. But even the US 280 SE and W126 had York compressors. Okay. We got a brand new one. It seems pretty nice. It should work, but we just got to go through the system. And getting it running and driving was a priority. So we've made really good progress, but it's just the two of us. We put in a couple hours a day with the cars and with the YouTube program. And I'm happy. We're making progress, right? We're almost at 6,000 subscribers.
So we have questions. Andrew Button says, is the Fox body the orifice tube type? Or no, it's not the orifice tube. I really like that was the FFOT Ford fixed orifice tube. I really like those, but no, it's like got a block that the
Lester says it's a thermostatic expansion valve.
Yeah, it's like a block with an expansion valve. Both the high and low side go through that block, so I don't know exactly what the inside of that looks like. They were pretty reliable back in the day, so I never really was into them.
Okay, Mexican Spec's going to post that car up maybe today or tomorrow.
Okay.
The owner sent him some videos. That's awesome.
Pop-Tart's back? Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? You missed a lot of stuff.
We've just been showing lots of pictures.
You're gonna have to go back. You're gonna have to go back and watch it. But we'll be here for a little bit.
We're not real coherent. We like bounce all around. Hopefully, it's
Blue
a little
Grit
entertaining.
Is here. Says I like those early Javelins. And again, my garage is full right now. Barely have enough room to walk between them. Yeah, you got all those Mustangs, small Fords.
Blue Grit's got some really cool cars.
Look at that. Mexican Spec. That is that the normal Mexican way they did that grill thing between the taillights? I think that looks good. Looks better than what we had. And what
those
wheels?
Are really
what wheels? What
yeah.
wheels are those? I know those wheels, but I can't remember what they go on. Did I miss one? Yeah, I did.
Andrew says I've done a bunch with LS engines, but I'm not convinced it's a better motor than the 4100. Hot take.
Problem with the 4100 when they were new was coolant would leak into the oil, like through the porous part of the block. And GM, the recall, they'd give you these big, look like bars leak, and big pills, and they just fit into the radiator cap, and you're supposed to put the whole package of them in there. And that's supposed to keep the block from seeping into the... I guess it worked, but I think there were other problems too. When is the raffle for the stripped Fairmont body? Oh, I'm not done stripping it.
He's got plans for some stuff.
Oh, it seemed that it was 864 or whatever it was would be great for tons of boost. You know, I had a Pontiac Grand Prix. I think it was an '07 GXP Grand Prix for a while out in Arizona, and that had one of those 864 things, but they didn't make a big deal of it. And that thing was seamless. You'd get on it. It was an LS engine that set sideways, drove the front wheels, and that thing would fly. But when you're going down the road, it got pretty good fuel economy. So, but you never heard it really go in and out of the 864, and it came way after the Cadillacs. But that thing worked quite well. That car was fast, and it also had big, hefty brakes on it, so it'd slow down pretty quickly too. Luger says those look like the '70 Mustang optional hubcaps. They could be. Louis says it's an ugly car. What's an ugly car? Oh, Mexican Spec says you haven't figured the price yet. Pop Tart. I'm into Caterpillars engines, Detroit 60 series, and ISX Cummins, but for gasoline engines, I personally think 351 Cleveland's engines, LS engines, top shelf. Yeah, I like the Cleveland's. And then another one I like, and it's because I've become friends with Dallas Brown from the AHRA. His Thunderbird had what they call a cleaver in it, which is it's a Windsor engine. It's a stroked Windsor engine with Cleveland heads on it. So of course the coolant has to be rerouted, but it works really well. And that car's fast. I mean, that's a fast car. He had what, the fastest second annual No Name Nationals? He had the fastest car there that year. Does that front bumper look like it's pushed in?
2-minute beverage break.
It does, but not that bad. And you know what, Mexican Spec?
Oh, it's not like that from the factory?
They were, so many of them look like that. That one's actually, I when I saw it, I remembered that, but this one's pretty darn good. Some of them are much more noticeable than that because they've been clobbered. And that one I think is slightly pushed in, but I'm actually not sure. But a lot of them were, you know. Oh, check my email. I'm sorry. I've been looking at stuff. Right on. Oh, Buddy Carafano sent ACOs. Okay, I'm going to look at the ACOs later. I might look at it and say, oh, man. Okay, Raw Dog. It's going to take me a minute to download all these, and Kim isn't here right now. Danny Boyd says they're Mercury wheel covers. Yeah, I really don't. I know I've seen them before, but I don't know what they are. Damage isn't usually that symmetrical. Yeah, you know those cars that have like a little pointed front on them. Some of them, like that's where they always hit, right dead center. But this one, this one, I wouldn't even worry about this one. Although once you mention it, yeah, it probably is slightly. How many did you send in, Raw Dog? You sent in 14 pictures here. I'm still downloading. Let's see. Pop Dutch says, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. Where are you guys from? Oh, we're in Middle Tennessee. We're south of, a little bit south of Clarksville. Actually, I think my son's moving over. It's kind of in your neck of the woods pretty soon. Okay, what'd you do here? Oh, you
momentary interlude. Oh, it smells. You can really smell it.
I can smell that. Oh, we got some crazy pictures here from Raw Dog. It's gonna. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to show.
We have a segment here happening, and it seems like they messed up this. These strawberries got a little weird, so they marked this down. But check it out.
Oh, it's because they spilled all over. Yeah, the cake.
Campo.
That cake was. They had all these cakes. They all looked really good. This one was like spread out a little.
Bought me.
And it was marked way down, so I bought it for.
Forbidden cake. I brought you a fork. You are not
Oh,
allowed
I'm
to
not
eat enough.
supposed to eat sweets.
Well, don't eat the icing.
I went to the doctor today, and they want to take me off. Well, she's taken me off one of my meds because she says you're almost pre-diabetic. You're not even diabetic. And I go, yeah,
I
that's because
took care of him and he
It's
healed
because
himself.
I watch the carbs.
You didn't
Let's
eat
see.
bread for like a year.
See, Pop Tart says, "You guys travel, or you like to travel?" I love to travel, but it's getting to the point. Well, see, I had a travel job. I was working for a defense contractor, and I spent a lot of time in Yuma, Arizona, a lot of time in Maryland, and Ohio, and in England, and where else? Oregon. Yeah, I ran all over the place, and I really enjoy it. But I'm at the point where, we're doing YouTube and we're working in the shop, and after traveling that much for that much of my life, it kind of feels good to be home. So
Yeah, we don't want to
I,
go on
I,
long
I,
travel. We don't have the money for it either. Really? Well, I don't know.
yeah, it's on top of Nashville. That's the way to put it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're a lot closer to Clarksville than we are Nashville. But yeah, you got it. We're between the two. If we go to Nashville, it's less than an hour. Kim, I can't.
Just have a bite of
Can
strawberry.
you? No. Can you take your mouse? See down there where the yellow line is? Yeah, you got it. That's what I want you to do.
We're
Thank
skipping
you.
an ad break.
Okay.
We're trying.
Okay. So
Whoa.
yeah, you're all over the place. Yarn Rudrax, go wild, please.
I'm not doing
We're not doing
it.
Rugrats. Let's see. I would eat half that cake if I were there. That's the thing about being a diabetic. Sugar tastes so good, because I don't eat much of it. It's like, yeah, I could probably eat half that. Why
Just
is
have
that?
a little
Why
bit
is
of
that
cake.
big gob of white
I
stuff?
scraped it off. I scraped all the icing off
Well,
over here.
why?
This is your part. So you don't eat it. It's just
But that's the part I want.
Eat some of the strawberries and
Don't
cake.
block me. Mexican spec.
There's plenty of icing right there.
Pop Tart gone trucking. Oh, okay. God, Kim, you're forcing me to eat the different part than what I want to eat.
I'm abusive. The way I make you eat this cherry pie cake. Pretty good.
Pop Tart says the most beautiful city is San Francisco. I don't know.
If you're gonna bring home strawberry cake,
This is actually strawberries are good.
I know. If you're gonna bring strawberry cake home,
The strawberries aren't
don't
overly.
expect me to eat it all. You're gonna have to eat it too.
They're
I
not-
told you before not to buy this. It's delicious.
They're not overly sweet.
Mm-mm.
So Pop Tart. Okay, here I got to click on this. Hang on. Now I got work to do here. Oh, I can't find what I'm looking for.
Back to the Future wasn't an underrated movie. It might have been overrated. Although
Okay,
I liked it.
here's Pop Tart, and I'm gonna sub,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and I'm gonna ring the bell, and this is on my account. So
Yeah, we'll try and catch up on some of your stuff.
and then what I'll do is
Nice.
I'll forward it to you later, Kim.
Check out Pop Tart. See if they're doing something you like.
Ari's here, and then he deleted his message, so I don't know what he said.
Mexican Spec deleted Ari's message.
It says
Welcome in, Ari.
says retracted, so he did it himself. Yeah, I don't know. San Francisco,
I've never been that far west. I don't know.
you go up there in the summertime, and you're gonna freeze with that ocean breeze coming off. But yeah, there's things I like about San Francisco. I would rather, I don't know, what city do I like? Nashville's not a bad place. Where else is a good place, good city that I like?
What's Carvel cakes?
It's what?
Carvel cakes. I don't know what they are, Andrew. It's really hard to say no to cake. He brings me cake. He brought me a cake for St. Patty's Day. I ate half the thing. Then I threw it away. He was mad at me for throwing it away. I said, if I eat any more of that, I'm going to die.
Turbo Del Campo and Kim RPM. Hey, we're just talking about this. I think she's going to put the turbo on her car, and my six-cylinder is just going to remain a six-cylinder, normally aspirated until I put the V8 in it.
He wants to put his Chevy 350 in his
I may put the
Sport.
350 Chevy in it. I may put a 351 Windsor in it. If Dean has his way, I'll put a 400 in it. 400 Ford, whatever those things are called.
Dawn is here. Welcome, one-eyed cat.
Man,
Stop by to say hello
you're
and
letting
good
me
night.
you're letting me eat this. I'm eating on.
You're not supposed to eat big pieces of icing. Somebody stop him.
I'll put the fork down.
You could have strawberries or cake, but
Luke,
not icing. I
cookie,
scraped all the
cookie
icing off.
puss equals Carvel. Cookie puss. I don't know what cookie puss is.
I don't know what that is either. Mm.
Somebody hasn't been to San Francisco in a long time. No, last time I was in San Francisco was ages ago. I kind of avoid the place.
When I see food, I eat it. I can't help myself. See?
I'm trying to think of the last city I was in I really liked. London, England was pretty good. Nashville isn't too bad. I mean, I'm not a big city guy.
I've gone into Nashville with some friends a couple of times, and we had fun. There was fun places to go. I don't know.
Yeah, Ari, I know that. But you know, the thing is that San Francisco has the tourist kind of places. I don't know what I remember is like Fisherman's Wharf and stuff. I don't know. I guess. I'm trying to think what I really like. London, England wasn't bad, but it's been over 10 years since I've been there. So, the 400M Mafia. I don't think the 400's called an M, but yeah, it's kind of like an M. England swings like a pendulum, dude. Oh yeah, the last train to Clarksville. Yeah, you know what? That song was written about. It's really funny because I'm here. I've read the whole history on it. The song was originally "Last Train to Clarksdale," and it was about a little town in Arizona. But it's really about getting drafted and going to war and everything. But then they didn't like the way it sounded, so they made it Clarksville. So everybody assumed it was about Clarksville, Tennessee.
Didn't we determine that there's a Clarksville in just about every state?
There's a lot of Clarksvilles around.
Kind of
One-eyed cat.
Springfield.
I avoid icing, too sweet and gritty.
Yeah, I know.
But I see.
Throwing the icing.
It'd be long. Man, it's going so fast. I can't. It's just going away from me.
I'm sorry. You'll have that.
Ari, I don't mean it in a negative way at all. Or record. The only reason I don't go is because it's expensive up there. Yeah, I'd say that too.
Oh, the big city is an expensive place. It's expensive to live. It's expensive to visit. You get sucked into tourist trap stuff.
Yeah. Rodog says, what about Germany? My son goes to Germany. He's been there many, many times. He likes it there. I don't know. I've never been to Germany. The only places I've been in Europe is England. I've been to England. I've been to Finland and Russia, just to the European part of Russia. But I haven't been in Russia in 28 years. I was in Russia before Putin became president, and that was January 1st of 2000.
I'm about to hide this before I make us both sick.
Well, don't cover it up yet. I haven't been eating much.
I thought you were shunning the cake. Okay. Thank you for getting me cake.
You're welcome. Dean Stevens said, that's why it's a mafia buff. It's not to be mentioned with a 400, but you went and mentioned it. Don't speak out anything I say get you in trouble. Well, the thing is, if I put a 400 in that, it's going to take up a lot of room. It's really going to fill up the engine compartment. And I'm going to have to put springs in the front end because that thing springs will be all bound up.
I mean, is there diminishing returns of putting that many cubic inches in a vehicle?
I could build a 351 that's a stroker 351 that's much smaller and lighter.
Okay.
And put, a Windsor and build it like a Cleaver,
Mm-hmm.
But that's a lot of money,
I mean, over time. Give us time. Like, we don't have the money to just build stuff. We gotta, get something and refurbish it and put, collect parts. Like, I've got a Chrysler 360 and an LA 318, both in excellent condition that just need, resealed, and they would be runnable. And I have transmissions and stuff like that for those engines. But we don't have bodies for those.
There's so many places I haven't been in the world. Man,
I was gonna put this
I,
away.
I like hanging out in Russia because I know some Russian people. I like the language and I speak enough Russian that I can get by in Russia, which is kind of fun. And then if I'm immersed in it, then I have to speak Russian more. But I can't go there now. I mean, it's a whole political mess, So
Enemies.
so I don't know what where else I like. San Francisco. San Diego's not a bad place. San Diego's a pretty good place for a city. Uh, and I think Tucson, Arizona's not too bad. Like Ed, I made borscht 2 days ago. Really? Tim says
Oh, I just realized.
if you put a bigger motor in the Z side, you'll have to invest in a bigger rear end. That parts car has an 8.8 in it. So
Yeah, so we have a rear end.
I have a rear end. I just don't know what I don't know what
Our garden gave us
oh geez.
cherry tomatoes.
Those aren't gonna taste sweet.
You
after
don't have to
eating that
eat
thing.
them. I was just saying, like, we got tomatoes. We're farmers. We realized corn is not our thing. Man, the corn just
Our corn didn't work out real well.
at all. And we bought good corn seed this year.
Luis says I don't speak Russian. Вы не говорите по-русски. You don't speak Russian. Yarn Rugrats Go Wild, please.
It's a cartoon movie.
He's asking.
About cartoon characters.
Oh, yeah, and Steve Edwards came in. I didn't say hi. Sorry about that. I saw you scroll by, but I was
Steve, is that boat anchor?
Steve, yeah, he says I like the AMX. You know what, Steve? I've got 45 miles on my car now. It's working real well. There's one little problem, but basically the car's working well. So now it's time to make the CB antenna hooked up to something. So that's one of the next things.
I don't know. The AC might take precedent. It's hard to say. I would let you put the radio in tonight.
Dean says it'll be a 273, I'd say, Buff. See, I don't know, because I think it came out of a 93 Mustang, and it's obviously been apart, and the guy was building a race car. I have no idea what he did to that thing. So, the cover's been off of it. I can see that. So I don't know what's going on. So I'll have to check it out. It's, it was swapped into that car. It wasn't there originally. So Raw Dog says Jimmy Newton. Excellent Mexican spec. It says I've seen. Bill Nye.
He's the science guy.
Bill Nye, the science guy. God, Kim knew that and I knew it. But do you have Raw Dog's pics queued up? Oh, yeah, I do. But I was kind of waiting for Kim to come back. Give me a chance to get Kim back here. But I'll, yeah, they're sitting there. They're huge. They're huge pics. So I'm kind of waiting for Kim to come back. There he goes. Bill. Luis, rest in peace to Joe Don Baker. Dean Stevenson, probably because he lost the tag and had to check. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he built the rear end and put it under that car, if he just swapped it out of a Mustang or clueless. I was just really happy when I saw that rear end under there because that's not what came in that car, So, and then the guy, I think it was his grandson, the older guy there that I bought the car from. He said it'd been sitting here for a couple of years, and he goes, it's got to go. There, all grass growing up around it and everything. And I opened up the trunk, and the area where the spare tire had been, that was cut out. It's a giant hole there. I look down there, and I see that 8.8 rear end. And I was standing there with Dallas Brown. He goes, oh, that's an 8.8. And so, yeah. There he goes. Joe Don Baker. Oh, Buford Pusser. Yeah, I know who Buford Pusser is. Okay, you're back. I can start showing pictures?
You could anyways, but yes.
Okay, so now we're looking at Raw Dog stuff, but see, they're kind of tall pictures, so what I have to do is scroll. There's a lot of pictures here. So what do? I go like this. Julian Sport Coupe, Speed Trap, and then I can't see that. Oh, look at what that opens up in the back. Okay, then this, the one and only 1925 Julian Sport Coupe. Look at that thing. I can't make this work. Why am I having trouble with this?
What do you want it to do?
I'm trying to move it up and it won't move up. Oh, I know. I got to zoom in and do this. These are big, long pictures. They look like they're, like a film strip. Okay. And next. Oh, old Bugatti.
That looks like a toy car.
Looks like a toy car.
Is it a real car? That's
I
that
don't
blue
know.
color that this Spitfire was when we got it.
Oh, look at that. I don't know much about these cars. This is before my time. Ah, Franklin. What's cool about the Franklins is they were air-cooled. I remember standing next to one in a car show in Arizona. It's toward the end of the show. The guy opened up the right side of the engine compartment because they open up the panels, open up. He started up, and the warm air is blowing across the cylinders from a fan, and it's blowing out onto me, and I could feel this warmth, and that thing was running so smooth. It was a really old car like this. I was just surprised how well that thing ran, and that it was an air cooled car because I'd heard a lot about them and never seen one run. Okay, I can't make that come into the field of view. I don't know what it is. Okay, you want to scroll down? Maybe it tells.
It just says it's classic sports cars.
Don't know. Raw Dog, what do we know about these? 25 Bentley 3-liter speed model.
Wow.
Imagine going fast in that.
That would have been amazing to have when it was new. Steve Edwards found out that Roger McGuinn has Parkinson's. He's got some mild Parkinson's.
I
just in
don't. I
one
don't think
side.
mine is Parkinson's. I think mine is from
Tremors.
Yeah, look at this. See this hand? I can hold this just perfectly. I do this hand, and I'm this. I think it's from an injury. Some days are worse than others. Today's pretty bad.
He doesn't take
I'm-
any medication for it.
Sometimes I'm trying to solder, and I get so mad
Oh, he
because
can't
I've
hold
got
still.
I can't make the solder and the soldering pin meet up, because my hand's doing this. Like, grr. Okay, so I've got more pictures here from Raw Dog. Then I'll go over and look at I really want to look at the Borst. Oh, 25 Buick Master 6. I bet that's a nice car to drive. 25 Buick or 25 Bugatti.
Those wheels are really. That looks like modernized wheels for it, doesn't it? Oh, they got the spokes.
Bombs. That's a Chrysler.
Wow.
Look at the tail of that, the way it's like the air is supposed to flow all the way back like a teardrop.
Pretty neat. I don't know. Why did Raw Dog send us cars from 1925?
I don't know, but we're showing them. I guess he likes them. Oh, what's that? We're going to have to back out of
That's
it.
a nice car. Fancy. I don't know if I
Although
would
I
want
don't
to
know what
own
it
one,
is.
but
I don't know what it is.
they're fun to look at.
1925 something. Oh,
Franklin.
it's a Franklin.
Hey,
And then
it's
down below,
Franklin. He took a screenshot.
he took screenshot, and then we're in it with Mexican Specs car. Okay, so I'm gonna close that out. Mexican Specs car is back, and then I'm going to my email, Kim, because I've got more stuff coming in. I already sent stuff in.
More. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. It's been fun. The time is flying by.
Somebody here, I sent you, Mike N. I sent you photos of the borscht I made Sunday. I don't see an email from you.
Food photos.
I do not see an email from you.
Beets are the star of the dish.
Can you check and make sure the email address you sent it to?
Red beets. Very nice. Mike, thank you for sending us pictures. I don't know where the problem is. Maybe you sent them a while back and we missed them. But
well, you're just talking about the borscht.
We always want to see pictures of good meals that you prepare. That's awesome.
Okay, so we got 2 from Ari. I'm trying to download stuff here. And I download one at a time if there's a group of them, because if I download them all at once, it comes in, it makes a, we call it a zip file, and then I got even more work.
Raw dog. Yes. Excellent. Very good. But out of context, because we were talking about motors, but I think it was a good break from motors.
Oh, we got all kinds of
other stuff. It was
definitely
something different. Thank you for going through and finding some images, interesting images. Is this Ari's?
Yeah, Ari, Toyota? What's this? Is this your Toyota?
Corolla? He's trying to sell it to us.
Why do I want this?
Oh, that's not the same car.
Not the same car, or different colors.
Where'd these come from?
Let me read what it says, because it's... Oh, one of them says pics with no other. The first one says pics. The second one says 2000 Toyota Echo, which would be
a different car.
That one?
Yeah.
That's a Mexican car, isn't it? I don't know.
Don't know.
I've never seen one.
Dean Stevenson says, my Czech friend used to say stuff like, what a load of borscht. And I'm thinking, at worst, it could be great food. At worst, great electricals better than Lucas. Ah, yes.
Josh Holman needs paint, but otherwise seems like a decent car. Mike N says it was sent 8 minutes ago. I see nothing from you, man. Kim, you want to put up the email address again?
Mike has sent us stuff before.
Yeah, but it didn't show up.
I understand. I will send the email again.
Oh, let me check my
trash bin in case it went there.
Yeah, let me check my
why would it go there?
Spam. Mean. Ha! It's in the spam folder.
Well, that's mean. Click on it and tell it it's not spam, so he can send you stuff in the future.
Jeez, why did it? Let's see. Report not spam. Okay, so why? Okay, when I did that, now it went to my inbox. That's pretty funny.
We've sorted it out. So
actually, I do have it.
You did.
It was in my spam folder. Why did borscht go in the spam folder? It's not a borscht folder. It's a spam folder. Oh God.
Mexican Spec asks Ari if he's gone farther to the dark side with the Toyotas.
Oh man, that's really thick.
Looks good.
Yeah, that doesn't look like the Russian borscht. That looks
delicious.
That looks really good. Russian is is that cilantro? That's how some people start putting that borscht is cilantro, and I don't think it's not spam. It's that's right. It needs to go in the borscht folder. Oh, look at that.
Oh, there you go. Okay, Ari's explaining himself. I've got 3 Toyotas with a combined 726,000 miles. Not bad. I'll bet you take better care of your cars than 99% of the people on the planet. So it does not surprise me that you get good wear out of them. Oh yeah, a dollop of sour cream. Yeah, I could.
Oh,
I
and
taste.
that's what Russians do. They put sour cream in the borscht.
I blame
Dill and parsley.
Belichick.
Oh, dill and parsley. The dill and parsley is good. Yeah, as long as it's not cilantro. I'm not a big cilantro
Luis,
fan.
way better than a restaurant. Good luck finding a restaurant that has some good borscht like that.
Yeah, the
That's a
only way
nice
you're going to do
meal.
that, find a Russian restaurant somewhere. And they're around, but Andrew Button, Buff, have you rolled many cars throughout the years? Never, but I've rolled lots of airplanes. I was flying along one time with a guy behind me, and I'm cruising along, and he's cruising along, and he's back there a little ways. And he calls me on the radio. Well, I was just getting bored, so I did a couple of rolls. And he was back there enough that I wasn't going to be in his way. And he goes, "Whoa, what are you doing?" He goes, "I looked up and you were upside down." So I'm bored, so I did a couple of rolls.
Wendy's here, Miss One-Eyed Cat. Welcome to the stream. Dawn warned us earlier that you'd be around to say hello, so welcome in. We're talking about board. And we had some cake just a few minutes ago, but the stream has been off the rails for a little while. We talked about engines and hubcaps, our new video content, and our progress in the world overall. Ari's Toyota, yeah, Ari's Toyota. His success with Toyotas. He likes
2000
Toyotas.
Toyota Echo.
Rugrats Go Wild is a movie about cartoon kids that get into trouble and Angelica.
Okay,
The end.
this is from Buddy Carfano, but I'm
Yes.
putting this up here specifically for Dean.
Okay.
So,
Uh-oh, you're gonna get careful. Careful. You get on the 400 Mafias.
I mean, that's a nice, clean looking thing there, but
Looks good. Would that fit in your car without like cutting the wheel wells, inner
it'd be
wheel
it'd be
tubs
tight.
out?
It'd be, yeah, I don't know about the exhaust. Yeah, it'd be kind of tight. Those things are enormous. It's really weird. It's a small block, but it's big this way, and deck height's high and everything.
Not many Russian restaurants in southern Louisiana. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's probably rare. You never know where you're gonna find like the best barbecue in where is it, Alabama? So you don't know. Keep your eyes
How
open.
about in Arkansas?
In Arkansas, that's what I mean.
Yeah, we
The
went
best
to
barbecue in Arkansas. We did a video on a
the,
while back.
the bait shop.
The bait shop of all crazy places. If anybody knows where there's a good place to get good Russian borscht,
Russian
Let
borscht
us
is
know.
purple and gross. Why is it gross? Just because it's purple?
Is it the cabbage makes it purple?
No, it's the beets.
Oh, beets aren't purple.
Well, it's kind of a purplish red
I
color. Yeah,
guess a little.
yeah. I always thought of it as being kind of purple.
I wonder if my turnips will grow this year.
Just got turnip. What do you do with turnips? What do you make with turnips?
Well,
I've never eaten turnips.
turnips are like, I would say, they're a root vegetable. They're sort of like between a radish. You know, a radish is.
I know what they look. I know what they
bite.
look like. I've just never
No,
put
but
one
I'm
in my
telling you,
mouth.
flavor. Radish has a lot of bite,
Mm-hmm.
and a potato has nothing.
Okay.
It's somewhere
It's between
slightly
that?
to the potato side of a radish, and I don't know. They're good. You can shred them up and put them on a salad. You can eat them with just like dip, like you would eat like a celery stick. If you like slice them, you can eat pieces of them sliced. They're yummy. I don't know.
Okay, you're gonna have to fix this.
Is that Ari?
This
It
is
is
Ari's.
Ari.
This is
What's-
Ari's.
What are you doing?
Oh, look at this! I like this. Somebody sends in a picture of themselves. There's Ari DeBernia, the man himself. Josh says, I always thought Texas was supposed to have the best barbecue. Oh, man. You could have arguments all over the South whose is the
Yeah.
best.
Nobody's gonna agree with you. I'll have said at least one of the grandmas may have been Ukrainian. I misremember the details. My mother's family was hardcore Lithuanian. They came over on the boat from Lithuania. So I got,
It's a torn up A5.
What's an A5?
It's an Audi.
Yeah, what's he doing? Doing an oil change. They got the whole front
It was
clip
like
off.
somebody else took it apart, brought it over, and goes, "Oh, put this back together." I can't get it back together.
Basket case.
A basket case, yeah. Where all the nuts and bolts. Nuts and bolts.
Changing the air filter.
I put them in I threw them in the where I drained the oil. Oh man. Yeah, Mexican Spec says he liked those LTDs with the radio on this side. Isn't that crazy? I don't like those 69 and 70 with that real short little thing that's supposed to surround the driver because it's too much like that and you got to reach around the steering wheel to get all the buttons. And then in 71 that just they made it so nice. Finish the Lithuanian story, Kim.
Oh, there's not really much more to it than that, except that the food. The food. Family reunions, weddings, and stuff like that. There was halushki, and there's always something made with cabbage. Oh, my grandmother, every Sunday, when we went to my grandmother's house, she made fresh stuffed cabbage. What was it called? Pigs in a blanket, they called them. She'd always have them. Always. Who makes that every week? It was a staple. It was there always because
Where the hell is that?
we're at Grandma's house. There's pigs in the blanket.
See what we can do here is we can make Ari really big. See, he's here now. Ads. Dean, my workmate was Lithuanian. We ribbed all the time about being Charles B.'s love child.
Oh, Bronson. You could see the Lithuanian the facial structure. I could yeah. Sure.
Ari's laughing because I zoomed him in. Okay, let's see. Actually, I like how send pictures of yourselves. This is really good. I like this.
Yeah,
because
now you know
now
you know what Ari looks
everybody
like.
knows what Ari looks like. I knew what he looked like before for some reason. Oh, from watching his videos.
Yeah.
The first video of his I watched, I thought he was on the East Coast. He got a letter from Tony or somebody, and he was opening it up. And that was like years ago. And then most of his videos are out at the window of his car going down the highway, you know.
Or in his truck.
In his truck. Yeah, in his truck. Yeah. Oh, and of course his lives used to do lives with right on him, of course. He'd sit there in his truck with his camera on him. Yeah, Ari, why don't you do some lives again? I miss those. Those were pretty good.
Miss One-Eyed Cat knows about the pigs in the blanket. Yeah.
Bruce, Inspector Bruce, ad for Visa. Print.
You get 2
Royal
points.
Kingdom.
Oh, Visa Print. Royal Kingdom. Is Royal Kingdom an amusement park with like
I don't know.
roller coasters?
Dean Stevenson, Autodesk TripAdvisor. Autodesk makes AutoCAD, don't they? But they do other things.
That must be something else.
Let's see here. Luis, Debbie
You get 2
Thornberry.
points for those advertisements. Thank you to our advertisers for paying for all our kilobits. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I was reading Luis, but it's more about movies. You can read it.
Luis likes cartoons.
Oh, here
Thank
we
you
go. Here we go.
for being here, Luis.
And this is from Mexican Spec, says my picture. Okay, so now we all get to see what Mexican Spec looks like.
Do we?
And he's done this before. You know what you're going to see. You know what you're going to see.
No, it's very serious.
Anytime he's on somebody's live, that's what you see for Mexican. You hear him, but that's what you see. So we're going to take that picture away. when you listen to Mexican Spec on his lives, he's pointing the camera out at cars or just looking at one car or something. But you can hear Mexican Spec and Mrs. Mexican Spec, but you never get to see him. But I understand why.
Miss One-Eyed Cat says now she's going to have to make them. You know what? They're good because cabbage can freeze really well. You can make a lot of them and freeze them.
Did you read that? I don't know because I was talking.
Royal King's a video game.
Yeah, that's from Inspector Bruce.
They're trying to, get you to buy stuff. But they help pay for kilobits, so we won't complain too much. Everybody who called out their advertisers get 2 points. Mexican Spec's not getting ads tonight, although he's not complaining. They know they can't sell you anything. That's all it is, Mexican Spec.
Mexican Spec, this is what I want you to do. You know that picture you sent of us? I want you to take a pencil or a marking pen or something and draw a picture of yourself on the green thing and then send that to us. Self-portrait. A quick self-portrait with a marking pen. Let's see what he says.
Speaking of marking pen, we got our whiteboard set up. So now he can do
we got a short. That's going to...
fancy smancy whiteboard stuff. I don't know what we're going to do with it.
Kim was saying, how do you going to put this whiteboard up and everything? I'm going to put it on, build an easel or something. And then we decide just use the ladder. She goes, let's just use the ladder. So how are we going to hook the ladder? So we have this discussion. Finally, let's get a piece of aluminum, move the toolbox out of the way of the brake, and I make this thing and fold these parts up in the brake. I'm going to rivet them together and hung it on the ladder and hooked the board to it. So that's the beginning of me getting back into making aluminum parts for the aluminum car.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the tools that
I made it pretty
make a little.
I made it pretty quickly too.
Yeah,
I think I did. How long? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you didn't think it was quick.
It was okay. With seeing as how everything is spread about because we never use it.
I had to get tools out, and we had to find a piece of aluminum, but it didn't take that long.
This is how you change a turn signal bulb on an Audi. Yeah, just take the whole friggin' car apart.
Start from under the dash and work forward.
First, remove the engine.
It's like the heater core on a Fox body. Oh, I would not want to do a heater core on an Audi. Oh, that cannot. Just the thought about that. I know that's going to be bad. Yarn Rugrats go wild, please. What's he talking about?
I don't know. Sometimes I think Luis is a bot account. I don't know. He just talks on the
Look that up. Let's put it up for him. I mean, he's asked so darn many times.
I'll do it on my channel.
I was thinking maybe there's a car in there.
This week I'll watch Rugrats go wild and I'll do a yarn. I've never done a yarn of a cartoon before, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I don't know when I'm going to find a
TikTok ad and Venmo ad from Ari.
Okay. Ari, you get 2 points for your ads. Olive says I should stick figure draw myself. When I was changing everyone's oil regularly, everyone wanted me to get a window sticker of me and Kitty made to remind them of mileage. That would be super cool to give them out. That would be a useful thing. Bucktail Campo.
And you were changing everyone's oil. Stickers. Changing everybody's oil. That's cool. Because you're probably better at it than the oil change places. But having a sticker with some kind of
logo,
branding, logo,
or a stick
picture,
figure
whatever.
Of you, that'd
be cool.
Make sure you send us that, Olive. I want to see it.
Lester says pre-delivery inspection of an Audi. Yeah, what are you doing there? What are you actually doing there? Is that out of the wrecking yard? Oh, man. Ari, seats and center console, depending on the car. That's where you start. Seat and center console. Okay, let's see what else.
To change the evaporator. Man.
Let's see what else I have for...
You can Venmo this, you can Venmo that. Is that the commercial?
Buddy Carfano says, my picture.
Oh, it is. It's a Saturday Night Live cast. Talking about you can Venmo this, you can Venmo that. I've seen that commercial.
Okay. Buddy Carfano. Except you're going to have to center it up.
There's a stick figure. Who is that? Ari?
Buddy
is more
Carpano
American.
said, but I think he snagged it off the internet. Okay,
Yeah.
and here comes
He's stealing.
Mexican Spec. Oh, Mexican Spec did exactly what I said. Oh, we got to see this. We got to see this. Oh, did you do that? That looks like something you picked up and stuck on there.
Nice.
Nice try.
Get 2 points. Very well done.
There's Mexican Spec.
Very well done.
I really like the haircut.
Now you know. Hey, this is a Buff Del Campo exclusive.
Nice haircut.
We have.
Ari says it's a water pump job. I hope you get paid well. What is buzzing? Something buzzed? What's this? I don't know. So now, look where the arms are. He has no shoulders.
You got your arm coming out of the back of your neck there, Mexican.
I have hair, though. I'm not an artist. I wouldn't mind live streaming again. You used to have good live streams. I liked it when you were in the place. I know you moved out of there, but you were kind of in a corner, and I used to give you a hard time because yeah, nice office you have there, but it's a corner, and it was some kind of a thing up there. I don't remember what it was, but trains went by right there and rattled the whole place. So you had trains go by. That was pretty cool. And then you used to do them just in your truck with the camera up on the dash. You just sit there in the truck, and it'd slowly get dark. And sometime after it get dark, you'd end the live.
All right, if you ever want to, stand in on a Tuesday night and run this spot, we would gladly yield to you. We'll put up a community notification that Ari's doing the Tuesday night, and you're in, baby.
What is this? Stray Bullet says, it's a photograph of Mexican. I'd recognize him anywhere.
Yeah. It's life.
Uh-oh, Dean Stevens has only got 2% left on his phone.
Uh-oh.
I'm
Well,
popping myself into phone purgatory.
You know why? Because we're already at 2 hours and 45 minutes.
We're at 2 hours and 45 minutes.
That's why we're wearing Dean's phone out, guys.
We've worn Dean's phone out. I feel like I'm too far. Usually you're bigger than I am, and I'm just like, why are we looking like this tonight? I look over there and I'm like this big massive thing, and you're like way back there.
I need to get a lens that makes my boobs look bigger.
Jeez. Socks. No, I'd rather be here, says Ari. Next is, or use StreamYard and both do the live. We did stream. What was this? There was something. StreamYard's made it more difficult again. But we did have guests in here. Who do we have? Wendy came in here, and then
Dougster was here.
Dougster was here. But there was some reason why you stopped it, because
it was stressful for me. It stressed me out. It was too many buttons and stuff like that. It's not that hard, but we were trying to do the green screen and all these screens on top of that. And we were really new at streaming, and it was taking on too much, so I backed away from it. But we could do guests. We absolutely have the technology to do guests.
Yeah. When he goes, LOL, Kim, and then Mexican Spec says, did Kim drink something odd before the live tonight? And she was eating that cake.
I ate a lot of cake.
What was in that cake?
Before the stream? I didn't do anything bad.
No, it's like here you're talking about your...
Get a tattoo of bigger boobs?
Your bazooms. Who was it used to say that? Joan Rivers. She called them bazooms.
Lady things. Red Powerade could be considered odd. I didn't have any. Well, I had a little bit, but not much. Usually I drink like a half a bottle of Red Powerade a day.
What about this? About Siri? Is that how you pronounce it? From Rugrats Go Wild.
She's an awesome villain? I don't even know who that is.
Well, you could put that in there. We'll give him one.
Okay.
She's a leopard.
Who's a leopard?
This person.
Oh, Siri's a leopard. Did she eat any of the babies? Luis is trying to end up in the spam folder with the borscht. Maybe, Mike. Maybe.
I think that was funny, as I had to look
Olive says blue Powerade is of course, totally normal. It's blue flavored. Yeah, I mean, I like blue flavor, but red flavor is
Blue?
good too.
There's no blue food. Even blueberries aren't blue.
They are blue. We have
It's
them in the yard. Our blueberries are so productive again this year. It's super cool. Ari says, my stream is way too much of my face, I feel like. I mean, honestly, a normal stream is usually just somebody talking. We do all this crazy monstrosities with the green screen. Most of the time, people do not do this kind of a show live.
Hey, Inspector Bruce is going to be here the week before No Name Nationals, or maybe. I don't know. Could we just put him here? I don't know.
Oh, I would love to have Bruce in person. That'd be
That
cool.
would be kind of cool.
Although we'd have to clean the house.
We'd have to. Our house. We live in this old hillbilly house.
Ooh. When I say Del Campo, I mean you're coming to a camp. This is not a house. This is like, hunting cabin kind of camp. We love it. It's great, but like it is not nice.
The green Powerade, when available, is a delicacy.
Green Powerade.
Oh, blue cheese.
You know why they can't have green Powerade? Because it looks way too much like the green radiator.
Oh, antifreeze?
Yeah.
Looks like
Mountain Dew's like that too.
blue cheese. Yeah, I like blue cheese. That's been my favorite dressing lately, is some blue cheese I've been putting on my salads. Campo is like the outskirts, Kim El Campo.
Is that what it means, Mexican? I thought it meant camp. But the outskirts make sense too, because we're at the El Campo of Clarksville. Like Clarksville is like what, 10 or 15 minutes, but it's a small town. So when you're 10 minutes away from it, you're like cows, and there's a couple houses, but then there's just road and woods and gullies and
wind and rain,
hollers, and yeah.
Antifreeze comes in a lot of colors now. It used to come in a lot of colors, but I didn't like that, because the dark blue, I'd service the system, they'd open up the radiator cap and look in there and go, you didn't do anything, because it was so dark in there. So I liked the Prestone at the time, was that bright fluorescent green. There was never any question whether I'd done the job or not. So it got so all I would use back in the day was Prestone because of the color. Well, now I still like the green, the bright green, because you look in there and you see it.
But he said he sent pictures of a big engine. Dean Stevenson says he likes the dirty deep fried chicken and the dirty rice and cheese with holes in it. I like the cheese with holes in it. Olive says, when I grill burgers, the blue cheese is the most popular cheese. He's been getting me to buy, holy cow, look at the size of that motor, blue cheese dressing, but he also asks me to buy Gouda. We put Gouda on sandwiches around here now. He likes that.
Dean Stevens, Clarksville. Inspector Bruce says the date is not for sure. See, that's a weekend before No Name Nationals. I'm not sure. I just said, yeah, if that's when you can make it, you can make it. But that's going to be a tough date for us, because we're going to be in the final push to go to No Name Nationals.
We might have to make you work.
But he says he'll only stay for a few hours, not all day or all evening. You know what I'm thinking? We'll probably go out to eat or something in Nashville or something.
That's what we usually do when we have guests. We go someplace.
Well, and there's places in Clarksville too, and it'd be really good to see Bruce, because, it was what, 50. God, it was 52 years ago you and I were hanging around together. 52 years ago, we were hanging around together, and then he pops in here and been a guest ever since, which is really cool. And it'd be a lot of fun to go hang out again. We'd have to go find a bowling alley. No, we're not going to do that.
What would you do with an engine that big? It's too big for a train.
That would make your
ship.
That would make your springs sag. Yeah, it's probably for a ship or something.
I can't imagine
the backup engines they had in the nuclear power plant weren't that big.
Right.
Nuclear power plant on something trips, they had like 4 diesel generators that were actually locomotive engines. They'd all start up immediately. Mexican Spec says, then you need to get the work done before the last weekend. You know, actually, we're in pretty good shape right now. There's a couple of things I need to do my car, but we're not to the point where we're.
It's not like we're just lying around ignoring the work. We're working on stuff. But like most of what we do, it's so damn boring. I don't know how to make any video content out of us mowing the yard or me organizing in the garage, you know? 2 nights a week we do the shop streams, and I try and keep all the interesting stuff compiled to then, and you've been there. It's boring as all hell. We're just working on stuff.
Mexican spec, I doubt it's 9 cylinders. I would expect it's probably 18. Dean see cheese with holes in it. Cheesemaker earns extra value by giving the customer more nothing for extra cost.
Extra nothing.
Oh, there's no substitute for cubic meters. Yeah, that's what that is,
Jeez.
cubic meters.
Look at the size of that flywheel.
Yeah, like a flywheel. How are you going to put that up there?
I'll bet you it's got
a crane.
I'll bet you. I mean, it doesn't have a starter motor. That's got to have a pony motor. I'll bet you it's like a 350 Chevy or something like that, just to start that crankshaft spinning. You don't get it to turn over if the starter motor turns out. And I don't think you could have an electric. I guess you could make an electric motor with gear reduction, but I mean, it's probably got a V8 pony motor to get it spinning to start it.
What is this?
I like Swiss cheese, but I only eat the holes.
Can you shrink that so we can see the whole thing?
Oh, somebody sent us some. This is our first official channel meme. We've never.
Andrew Button sent this.
Andrew, thank you. You get 2 points. This is very creative. Do you understand?
Dean Stevens says, your latest short was pretty good. Lamborghini? Did you do a short?
I recently did a short where I had the car over at the gas station. I was putting lead substitute in the gas and
was that a short?
ethanol-free gasoline. It was a short. It was on my channel.
Oh, I missed it. I didn't even see it.
You didn't watch my short. No support around here.
I missed it. I didn't know you put up a short. How would I know that?
Stray Bullet says you use air to start an engine like that. That's interesting. Thank you, Dean, for noticing my short and watching it. Dean was the first person to comment on it. Dean is fantastic. He comments on all our stuff. What a supporter.
It would hand turn if it's a small block strip.
This gets better the more I look at it. I really love it. It's such an inside joke. Like you would have no idea what you're talking about unless you knew our channel. But this is a very recognizable meme format. Well done. And I don't know if I go with the phrasing. I thought it was a Fairmont. I think you could just say it's a Fairmont. Like she could say it's a Fairmont. And then he could be like Z7. Because see the cats being all like, do you understand this meme? I'm not going to explain this meme to you. It's just snarky.
That was great. PB.
Professor P?
I asked Professor P to send me all the plans these holes. He's trying to plug them back up. Have you watched him doing that, replacing the stuff that Tony drilled holes in?
No.
He put different control arms in because they're just Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese. That's good stuff. Come on. Tony knows how to drill holes in the right places. I'll bet you it's strong. I wonder how light he got that car. I don't ever remember.
Oh, he weighed it. It was, without the engine in it, was like 1,300 pounds or something.
1,300 pounds. Wow,
So,
he
I don't
really did.
remember.
He really did go.
Well, it didn't have an engine or
I
trans.
wonder how many drill bits he wore out on that thing.
He said every time he walked by it, he had one of those step drills. Every time he walked by it, he'd just drill another hole in it. And he just had the drill sitting there. He'd walk by and drill another hole. Walk by and drill another hole. Did that for months. can't find my cursor. Well, you know what the problem is? This screen is all dark down that corner. So it's really, the screen's kind of, I've got a laptop that has a bad screen in one corner.
Mexican Spec doesn't get it. It's just a meme. She's insisting it frantically, and the cat is snarking. It's not any deeper than that. Or maybe if it is, I don't know fully the reference of this woman. I don't know this scene. This scene might be from a movie. But the cat is just snarky. He's like, it's a Z7. You know.
Oh, I'm looking for something that's not here. It's on my other computer.
Andrew Button asks, did you ever do much with APUs?
Oh man, I ran an APU shop. I worked in an APU shop in the last 2 years I was in the Air Force. I was the guy in charge of an APU shop, and we worked on the ground power units. There were 2 different ground power units, and then there was an aircraft called the C-141 that had an APU in it, and the C-5 has 2 APUs in it, which is a completely different APU. So I worked on all of those, and yeah, the last 2 years I was in, I ran that shop, and the Air Force is kind of like that. They train you to be a technician, and they train you to be like higher level tech, and then you reach a point where they give you a management job. And I always said, does anybody know what the now I can't bring it out of my dead brain. It's what, like, one will rise to the level of incompetence, and that's kind of the way the Air Force is. You keep advancing, and then they promote you into a job where you're not good at it, and you stay there for the rest of your life. What is that called? Somebody will come up with the name of that. The Peter Principle. So it's kind of like the Peter Principle. But I don't know. I fit in that okay. I could run the shop, but it got real political, and I got real sick of it. And when it came time to get out, I was gone. I just had enough. 10 years, I put in my time. It was a tough choice there because I could, Inspector Bruce knows. He put it down, the Peter Principle.
2 points. He knew he was typing it.
So
just barely beat him to it.
So and he was in the Air Force. He knows. So yeah, I don't know. It was a tough choice because it was like, do 10 more years and have some retirement, or get the hell out of there and go do something else. I went and did something else. I don't know. I got to do a lot of cool stuff, like designing airplanes, and some of my airplanes are out there, and they were commercial successes, and although I did it for an hourly wage, that was fun, but I didn't get any retirement out of it. Space Cat's here.
Space Cat enjoys the freewheeling nature of our lives. Oh, our lives, because we bounce around. We're chaotic squirrel on caffeine. A little ways back, Tim says Chuck E. Cheese was back in the late 70s when my kids were little. I remember Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, there's one up here in Clarksville.
He tried to eat salads there and be a good dad, but sleepovers with 10 little girls running around was crazy hectic. That sounds insane. 10 young girls. He said they had a hot tub that would half hour in a hot tub would put them kids right to bed.
I never had little girls. I had boys. So if we did so, I never had 10 of them at a time, but there were times especially the second one, he'd have all his friends over, and then we'd go to a water park or something. Man, I had cars stuffed full of kids. That's something. Who knows what a tri-sport is? Who knows what a tri-sport is? Remember these things?
Oh, man.
Those are so much fun.
Really?
Oh, man.
Does that one have a motor on it?
I don't know if this one does, but
they made them with motors. And I remember Shriners used to ride around on them with the motors. Oh yeah, it does. It has the place to mount.
Yeah. But those things, they're fast. Somebody looks like they put something on there for wheelie bars, because they'll flip you over backwards.
Yeah, the Shriners used to do that on purpose. They'd do wheelies on their wheelie bars.
But yeah, I like these things. I've always looked for tri-sports. Yeah, and that one's got a headlight on it. But I've looked for them, and they're really hard to find because they made them back in the 70s, and we used to run them all around. But they had a single cylinder. The small ones had a 3.5 horsepower, and there was a 5, and then there was ones with, they were like a lawnmower engine. And then there were ones that had 2-cycle engines on them. They're really fast. We didn't have any of those, but the carburetors stick out the back. And if you got on it too hard, even a 3.5 horse, it'd do a wheelie and it'd break the carburetor off. Well, then you coast to a stop. So we broke so many carburetors off. And then I see this one. It looks like they put wheelie bars on it. Yeah, I know why they did that.
Space Cat says, lead for soft valve seats. I watched and commented as well. Thanks for watching, Space Cat. I think I saw your comment. I don't remember right now. It's been a busy day. I looked at the comments this morning, first thing.
I want to know what we're doing next week. You wrote some stuff down.
Well,
we're not doing any of these, so we did engines. So, okay, I want some input. What are we going to do next week? What are we going to... what we should do? I like what Ari did. Send in pictures of yourself.
Oh, I don't know if we can get everybody to do that.
Yeah, there's people that probably won't do that. Well, then they have to draw a picture of themselves, like Mexican Spec did. There, see that? That's what I want to see.
Ori, Darbini. We want that every week, though.
Okay,
every
put it right
week
there.
We
Put it
want
right there. Put it right there.
Of people.
Now scoot him over a little more.
Our friends and viewers. Don't make them too big.
No, I'm trying to make him so he's like sitting right with us. I gotta scoot him down. So there.
Make him a little smaller.
Little smaller. There now.
I can make us bigger. How's that?
Yeah, okay, make us bigger.
This will work. Live with Buff and Kim and Ari.
See that?
There.
See, we could do that with every one of you.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Now we got ads coming in. So next week, Andrew Button, I was in aviation before my health failed me. I did a bunch of APU stuff on commercial jets. Okay, I never worked on commercial jets. I worked on all military stuff with the APUs. And then later, Space Cat says, you mentioned C-141. I had him at Point Magoo along with the C-130 C5s and P3 Orions. Very good friend of mine worked on the assembly line with the P3s. And I worked on C5s, some. I worked more on 141s.
You know what we never talked about? Somebody
and then I worked on
Dugster left.
Then I worked on a lot of what now they call drones. They were, big unmanned aircraft. Did a lot of that stuff. The big ones, not so much the little tiny ones. Not these little things like hit Ari in the face. Ari got hit in the face with a drone. Mostly. This one I get says it made your boobs bigger when you did that.
That's true, but I meant bigger in scale
Jeez.
versus the rest of me. Everybody likes bigger boobs.
Luis says just like Hot Wheels. Yeah, Hot Wheels. I know a guy that I worked with in Maryland, and he had some newer Corvettes and some older Corvettes, but then his thing was Hot Wheels cars, Hot Wheels and Matchbox and all those, mostly Hot Wheels. He had a collection of Hot Wheels. It was just amazing, and he had all the really rare ones, that are hard to get.
Oh my gosh, they just came out with a good idea. Mike N says animate his lips like an old Clutch Cargo cartoon. I don't know who Clutch Cargo cartoon, but I have seen that, and I could do that. I could make it the green screen, so like just our lips would be where Ari's lips are. Right?
Oh, you remember that stuff? Yeah, I remember that stuff.
So we could do that, right? We could just
What show was that?
Face in Ari, and you could be Ari for half an hour.
What show was it they did that on?
They used to do that on Late Night with Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that's where it was.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. That was funny as hell. I remember that real well.
Yeah, we could do that with political people and stuff like that. I could work that up.
Ari's traumatized by drone strikes, and now he works on Audis. Strikes were notoriously dangerous. That's why they were tough to find now. Yeah, that's when you're sitting up high. Those things set down so low. You could go in a turn, go like that, and there's no way it's tipping over. You just go around in circles. They were really fun because they were sitting so low. The ones that set up high, like a motorcycle, those things are, yeah, there are a lot of crashes of those things. Bigger boobs make your back hurt. Her back already hurts.
I believe it. And the last thing I need is my back to hurt more. So I should count my blessings. I am a
Okay, so what are we doing?
modestly endowed woman.
Andrew Button, I'm too physically destroyed to ever get in front of a camera again. So cannot do that. Well, then you got to draw a picture yourself.
Yeah, send a stick figure. It doesn't have to be.
Okay, send in pictures yourself. That would be totally optional, but I'll like it. And then, and I think everybody would like to see who some of the people are.
I don't think that should be the topic for the whole.
No, I don't think that should be the topic. But the point is, I'll accept that. If you're like working under your car and there you are, and you got a picture of yourself and your feet are sticking out, and you got your face down there full of grease, but we can't see your face. But any pictures. Okay. So what are we gonna do? How about I don't know. Do we have a year we haven't done? Everybody's quiet, just like.
I think we have to just decide. I think we could spring it on them, but that makes it hard to get pictures.
Well, I don't know the engines. I didn't think the engines was going to go over real well, but it was
I feel
pretty
like
good.
it was just
We
like
put engines up. A lot of people knew what they were,
Just win it.
Les will say, a drone crashed into a tree in my front yard months ago. It's still there. Really?
Oh, someone's probably looking for that thing. Those things are not cheap. They probably have no idea where it went.
Man,
it probably went out of range and probably just like spiraled until it ran out of battery and landed.
Once I worked on some of them were millions of dollars.
Well, no,
but they're huge.
It was probably just one of those little drones, or else they would have come and found
those
it.
things are expensive for somebody to buy one of those.
Hundreds of dollars, thousands easily.
Thousands, some of them are, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Put it on Marketplace. Just the drone, no controller.
So maybe we should just have a free-for-all night. Just send in whatever you feel like.
See, that makes it hard for people to send stuff in. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Just like something you like.
Okay.
How about we did 60s cars, we did 70s cars. I don't really want to do 50s, although we could. I don't really want to do 80s, although I guess we could. There were some good 80s cars, weren't there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Free for all is every night. Yeah. I mean, we're off the rails within 10 minutes.
Send in pictures of drones. How about sending pictures from drones? Like pictures from drones. It'd be another picture of Harry, but it'd be like just before it runs into his nose. We did 25s tonight. I remember when I was a kid. I see on TV, movies, and shows before I go to school. Favorite colors of cars. Favorite trucks. That show doesn't sound familiar. Conan O'Brien used to have the little dog with the cigar. Who was it? I think it was Conan. I don't know.
It was Conan O'Brien. It was Triumph, the insult comic dog. He would always say, "For me to poop on."
Okay, somebody raw dog said I got two more emails here, so
Hippie Long, we always want to see your personal project, but most people don't send something in every week.
So Raw Dog
And that's
sent
reasonable. That's why we come up with a topic.
I'm putting up pictures, but you still got this on here.
Yep.
This Raw Dog sent this in.
Oh,
1945.
look how big we are. I'm messing it up.
Yeah, because we're too big.
Bigly. We are bigly. I'm getting it.
Let's just say a photo of us by our cars. You could do that any night.
I mean, we would
that's
love
acceptable
to see that
anytime.
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, please.
And Ari sent in another one. Let's see what Ari sent in. Okay, let's see. Oops. Where'd that go? Oh, here we go. That's Ari's truck.
The wheels look really good on there.
Man, did you swap wheels? I don't remember. I just know I like those big oval things on the hood. I remember when those things were new. I thought that was like the coolest thing I'd ever. Thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
It. You been able to drive it at all lately, Ari, or does it just kind of sit? I love being able to drive my Dart. It's much more fun to be able to drive it than for it to just sit there under the tree and collect branches and leaves.
Patrick Sellers says in the year 2000.
Yeah, they used to do that on Conan O'Brien. See, Patrick Sullivan watches it. They're just shining.
Andrew, but I'll send you a picture of a pile of money and say, here's me
working on my Mopar. Yeah.
Pictures of cars on fire.
Yeah. Put a big pile of money and then light it on fire, and then this is me working on my project.
Oh, he says same wheels. Yeah, I don't remember.
Maybe
I remember
because they're like in the shade and they've got good backlight. They really pop really good in that picture.
And what's that license plate? Is that a license plate? Is that a year? What do they call it? YOM, year of manufacturer license plate? Because that's the color they were then. I remember that. I remember when we got our first black plates, I didn't like them because I liked the yellow ones. That was in 63 they came out with the black plates, and those are still legal to have.
You should see Marty's rod cars at Don's Cousins from Ohio's. Oh. You better have pictures.
Yeah, get some pictures.
You better have pictures. Can't be going out there and looking at cool cars and not even sending pictures, or post them on your channel. I want to see. I want to see you took the motor out there. Are you like building to make like a longer video, or like why you're holding back? We need content.
What is this Dean? It's jet turbine powered, the 46 through 95 jet age peak production team.
Jet turbine? Nice.
72 C10 has blue plates. Oh, yeah, I forgot you had the 72. Yeah, this one looks like that's probably 1960. Well, it'd be the 56 base in California. We should do an airplane night where we send airplane pictures. Oh, I don't know. It's kind of a car channel. And you don't want to hear me start talking about airplanes. I'll get way into the weeds.
There's going to be stories. Not be fun. There's going to be stories here and there, and he will get way in the weeds. And he's not allowed to talk about a lot of it because it was like experimental aircraft, and
Colorado's black plates now. I thought it was pretty cool when New York went back to their yellow and whatever they were, yellow and blue plates. Or yellow and black. I think they were yellow and dark blue because they went over to white and all these fancy license plates and everything, and then one year they just went back to the same old color they used to be back in the 50s and 60s.
Don has video of the 440 being built out there. Okay, good. They'll probably do the video. It's nice to have a beginning, middle, and an end to a video, so they'll probably do going out there, the stuff that gets done, and then when you get it back, maybe even install it.
See, Tim says, you don't want any pics of my RC plane? Sure, send one.
Well, yeah. No, we absolutely do.
And then Lester Saber goes, flying cars? Yeah, like...
all of them. All
like
the flying
like
cars.
Going over a jump?
Jumping cars are cool.
DeLoreans. Jet H cars when Detroit started with the first post-World War II Studebakers, and then dipped out with the, what? The RAV4, whatever that word is. Raw Dog, I love RC airplanes, especially the nitro-powered, same with the nitro-powered off-road trucks. Those exert freaking cool RC road trucks by Tracks and some different manufacturers. What is Dean pudding?
Enshittified buying
Oh,
patterns.
enshittified. What is that word?
I'm going to cut it off if we haven't decided by in like 2 minutes.
Okay, got another email, and then we're cutting
We're
off the
still
emails.
going.
We're cutting off the email after this.
I don't know. We need a consensus. We need at least 2 people to agree on a topic for next week. We need a nomination and a second.
What is this?
Fire. Oh, he sent it.
He sent it.
He sent a picture of the money. You get 2 points. That's
See,
a perfect
Mexican
picture.
Spec's taken off, so it's time to get out of here. So
Mexican
anyway,
Spec left.
so next
He's gone.
week, I wanted Mexican Spec to hear this.
Oh, he's not leaving.
Let's do
Everybody else is leaving. That's just why.
pickup trucks.
All right, pickup trucks.
Pickup trucks. Any year, whatever you like. Got plenty of people that have trucks.
All right, favorite truck of all time. There is no limit. It could be an old truck, brand new truck, right off the assembly line. It could be American truck. It could be Australian
Mexican
truck, Russian truck, farm truck, army truck.
Mexican Spec says I'll forget anyway. That's what he always says. He always asks me what's the subject tonight.
We won't stay on topic, but it's nice to have something to fall back on.
So
When you guys get too off the rails, instead of talking about Rugrats, we roll it back around to trucks. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to Mexican Spec and Ari and our moderation team. You guys are fantastic.
and Utes too. A Ute is a pickup truck.
A Ute is, yes. So that's it. Thanks to everybody who sent pictures and participated. Thank you for your comments. I'm sorry if we missed anybody tonight. We never want to miss anybody, but we do our best.
And thank you for the borscht.
Yeah, that was great. It's great to see everybody every week. We will be in the shop tentatively Thursday and Saturday. We don't know what we'll be working on those days, but we will be in the shop. We usually start between 9 and 10, and we usually put the announcement up during the afternoon. If we ever cancel, we'll put up like a thing in the community section, so at least there's a comment that explains what's going on. And we look forward to seeing you from the shop. And as always, we'll be back next Tuesday in the studio. And blah, 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 all the official stuff.
I guess a wheelbarrow is a truck.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Panel trucks are okay too, Mexican Spec. Okay, let's say goodnight. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Get your hand out of my face. Use that hand over there. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for being here.